Well, I think we're live, fellas. So, wow, it's another humbug extravaganza. And 'twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And I tell you what, the price of turkeys this year, if that mouse comes anywhere near me, I'm going to have it. Because I ain't buying any more of that crap.
Yeah. Why not?
I tell you what, have you seen it? Have you seen the prices? Bloody hell. I had to use nectar points to get anywhere near this year. You know what I mean? I'm only a little bloke. You know, my mum's only got a little plate. And that's all she's gonna get is a mouse if things carry on the way that they are. But there you are. That was just my little Yuletide bar humbug intro. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Hope they're having a fun night tonight. I know this is fairly early, but work and everything means that we're setting this a couple of days earlier than we normally do. And I'm just going to introduce my friends, and they're going to talk a little bit about themselves. So right next to me is Denny. So Denny, over to you. What would you like to say as an intro? Oh, is he frozen already? All right, we'll go to Ian then. He'll be back. Oh no, there's Denny. Denny.
He's back. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, it just all froze.
All right. Well, anyway, I introduced you. Do you want to introduce yourself? Talk about your channel and think about what you'd like to say about Christmas. Oh, I think he's frozen again.
I haven't got a Christmas. I'm working all Christmas.
Really?
I'm back now.
Well, you're sort of moving and not, so we'll keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah, as I said, I haven't got a Christmas this year because I'm working every day over Christmas. But to be honest, who cares? Christmas ain't Christmas anymore. So this is the theme of it, isn't it? By the Bahhhh Humbug Extravaganza.
That's true.
Yeah.
What about your channel and what Christmas means? I mean, you've told us what Christmas means for you this year, but tell us a little bit about your channel, what you do, what you know.
Well, I'm going to be honest. You know, as I've told you now privately, and I think I've said it out loud anyway. My work, it just, you know, with the roster I had, it just took me away. I've got no time to do anything. I've got next to no time. As you know, I haven't even been able to comment on your blogs. It's been that hectic with the work. It's like my spares. I'm on nights, so I ain't interested in days. Thank God Santa's bought us a nice present. We've got a new roster for next year. I've got a week off every 5 weeks. So every 5th week, I've got a week off. So I'm hoping things are going to change. I'm hoping I can relaunch the channel. First off with the text adventures, but my passion is obviously to restore the cassette covers or the disc covers for the computer games, the early 8-bits. And obviously interact more. This has been I think you said it yourself, you didn't use Streamlabs until last year for the Bahhhh Humbug Christmas special. That says one thing. I've only been on once last year, and was it once last year a couple of times? But this is the first time this year I've come live.
We did I think four lives last year, because before that it was the Twilight Zone, and we did the children's thing.
Yeah, but this year it's been totally devoid. I'm glad to see the back of this roster at work. It's been an absolute nightmare. The last month hasn't helped, obviously. My family's all come down with the flu. So really, it's been 2 months since it all started, the illness, and my mum's still quite poorly with it now. I'll just say to anybody out there, try and, you know, wash your hands as you come in, try and keep out of people's way. If you do start coming down with it, the best thing I can tell you, honey and lemon and vitamin D are your friends. Yeah. You will be a lot better. But I'm just saying just that to everybody. It is a very, very nasty strain. As I said, my dad, he collapsed out of bed. I had to get him back into bed. It was an absolute nightmare. He was 13 stone a dead weight. I don't wish that on anybody's family. So try and keep yourselves and your family safe.
Yeah, I think I saw Denny in the news, Birmingham Hospital, actually, when they were talking about all of the people being treated for, you know, stuff in the aisles and stuff. They actually were talking as well about the flu strain and the fact that the NHS is going to be effectively stretched, and of course since then we've had the effectively the doctors sitting around and being on strike since last Wednesday, wasn't it? So 5-day strike. So there you are.
Yeah, so and I had to have a week off work myself, which is unknown. So that's how bad it was. And through the middle of that, obviously, I've had to look after my parents because they couldn't do anything. It's as I said.
Well, I wish you well. I wish you well, my friend, and it's good that I think you're a little bit like me. Let's get Christmas out the way, and 2025 can go do one, as far as I'm concerned. Most people know about my situation in regards to my year through my blog, but yes, you've been missed. Looking at your War and Peace texts that I used to get every week. The blog so far, the blogs that people have been talking to me about have been saying, bloody hell, you're nearly at 3 hours, and yet I've got so many people that haven't even commented. And somebody asked me, what's the reason for that? And I said, because of my mum. Really, if it wasn't for the fact that I talk a little bit about what's going on at work, what's going on with my mum, what's going that particular part takes me all the way up till about 45 minutes before I've even started doing the shout out. So, you know, that will diminish. It's just pretty much that. But I do wish you well. Anything you've wished for Christmas as a prezi, just as a prezi? Maybe you've bought a present for yourself.
You know, I'm thinking, because I was going to buy a new PC. Well, obviously, with the situation, I'm putting it on hold. I can use my old one. And I'm seriously thinking Steam Deck. Because I've got a lot of indie games. And, you know, if I can't get on my PC, I'll, you know.
Is the Steam Deck the thing that you want to buy because it's portable? Or do you not want to get the new Steam console that's coming out in the new year?
No, because it's A, because it's portable. B, because it runs the indie games, and I'm now interested in that new what's it called? The Steam machine. What's the new one by Valve?
I think it's just called the Steam Box. I think it hasn't really got a name, and they're contemplating at the moment whether it'll even be released with all the RAM problems. You know, the price of RAM. But the Steam Deck, I expect it to go up in price because everything's going up in regards to memory. So if you are thinking about buying anything technical, I would say look at stuff around about January for the sales. If you leave it past January, this RAM situation, this problem with AI, we'll talk about that later on. We don't need to talk about that at Christmas. But if you are hedging towards buying technology, phones, whatever that use RAM memory, prices straight up.
I'll be honest though, I'm steering clear of that Steam machine. According to the specs, it's not as powerful as the PS5, and
it's a PC. It's a PC cube, you know.
Not to sound PC elitist, but I'd rather just own a PC. It's more what's the word? I can do more on a PC than what I do on a console. I like to play, you know, keyboard, mouse.
No, it's just a Steam Deck is a console. Yeah, so I wondered what the difference between the two was, other than it's portable.
Because it's more portable. Well, basically, it's more portable, and I can play the game whenever I want, basically. And it's just for indie games, and it'll run them good. You know what I mean? So, you know, and
that's good.
So, you know, keep away from me PC. As I said, I want to get back to restoration, stuff like that. I think we've already had a conversation about that, the sort of chips I need for that.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Denny. I'm going to go over now to my partner in crime on a Wednesday. Really, he's actually found time to be here because the store that he's playing Santa at has closed early. So he's managed to find time to get here. and have a little chat. And then
Yeah.
tomorrow, I believe he's back in the store, and then he's doing another stream tomorrow night, which he will introduce that in a moment. But it's the same sort of thing for you, Ian. Thank you so much, by the way, for coming on, and thanks for being here last year as well. I hope you had fun. And please talk about your channel and talk about a little bit about Christmas this year for you, and anything else really that you want to bring to the table.
Well, it's not been a good year, I don't think, this year. Like everybody else, there's all sorts of things as cropped up throughout the year. My major point at one time was my son. They had a tumor on his back, and it really totally had a massive effect. He's had an operation, and he's all right. He's recovering. He's recovered really now. But
yes, that happened earlier this year. Please,
that's what I mean. It's reverberations carried on.
Please do go over to Ian's channel and watch some of the old Wednesday lives, because it all happened there, to be quite honest.
And also, there's things that have happened. It's just been a very bad year. Thank God for films, because my love of films is a real escape. Genuinely, it really is. And also doing that live. You know, I know we always talk with Delboy about it, but for both of us, in many ways, that live has been a great escape. It's something that just takes us out of problems in the world. And all I hope is that next year is, well, it will be. I know I'm going to be positive. It will be so much better next year. I mean, I've still got a problem now. I'm going into full mode. I got scammed with my card, and my bank has been good. Thank God they didn't get anything, but it's caused no end of problems. I'm having to redo everything, and I'm waiting for my card to come. The card ain't going to arrive now because the holidays till after Christmas, maybe just into New Year. And what do? I kept getting money out at bank. I can't get out. I can't get into my account. There's all sorts of things, and it typifies the end of the year. But next year, I'm going to be positive things will be 100% better. And my health has been up and down as well. My legs, particularly this leg, the pain has been pretty bad sometimes. But, you know, what can you do? You just get through it. But as I said, films, it makes me really appreciate my love for films and music as well. But I've been more into films even than music, really. They've just such a great escape. And the good thing about Delboy has been that he keeps me supplied with films. He often sends me downloads. You know, we won't say anything where he gets them from, but I get some nice downloads. Or I'll mention a film, and he'll say, I've got this, like The Holdovers, which I've not seen. And he sent me that. And look, he sent
just a moment, Ian. I'll just clear up the air on that. What it is that everybody sort of like knows that I buy an awful lot of films, and most of the stuff that I'm sending you, I've actually got the physical release. But because you haven't seen it, I consider what I'm sending you a sort of like a rental. You know, if you like it, you're going to buy it. If you don't like it, I know you're not going to store it because you're not technically minded enough to know what the hell it is. So
I've got no idea.
It's really like a visual footprint for you to watch, and then you'll go, oh yeah, I really like that. And you'd even said yourself, oh, I like that so much, I bought it. And that's pretty much.
That's happened this week. The dish that you sent me, I've got that. I haven't arrived yet, but I've ordered that. It's only a DVD copy on that. And then I ordered the Life of Chuck, which again is on its way. I absolutely love both films, you know. And so, you know, when people go on about pirating and all that sort of stuff, they're using those awful words. In the end, if you like a film and buy it, they're not losing out, are they?
No.
And also, if there's a film that I don't like, you know, I think, oh, crikey, I don't like that film, then, you know, you haven't wasted your money, because you see so many people and this is like a rant almost, but it shouldn't be against some YouTubers that they're buying all these films, you know, absolutely stacks of them. I mean, real stacks and stacks. But to me, they don't seem interested in the film. All they're interested in is how shiny this special edition is, and they're not even watching the films, or they don't even like them. I mean, bloody hell, why have films in your collection that you don't bloody like? I mean, tell me, what is the logic? What is the logic? I don't understand it, you know, especially they must have money to burn. I mean, seriously, these people must have absolute stacks of money. They must think, oh, God, you know, I've got to buy that, you know. Oh, it's only 150 quid, that one. And then, oh, I'll get another special. And then I'm going, bloody hell, have you robbed a bank? But, yeah, I mean, bloody hell, they just spend and spend. I think, dare I say it, there's a lot of Americans, I sound really prejudiced here, but they can't stop themselves, can they, for showing off all the...
I have to turn around and say that I've had to be pretty choosy, Ian,
this
year,
exactly.
towards the end of this year.
Yeah.
From about August, I looked at what I was ordering and going, do you know what? No.
Yeah.
And the first thing that went was Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook. That was £199, and I went, I ain't got 199 pounds.
Yeah.
That went out the window faster than anything.
Yeah.
And I had to bulk really at the price of just the standard edition of that in 4K in a sort of cardboard box. I think it was initially about $79 or something like that. And I had to think to myself, look, I love the films, but there are some cracking good new films that I need to give a go and not worry too much about some of the older stuff. But if it was something like what Denny pointed out to me, like The Land That Time Forgot or something like that, then I've been waiting so long for something like that to come out as a release that's where I would siphon the money towards. And I think I know where your answer is going to be with this, Ian, but I'm not quite so sure with Denny. So I'll put it out there. For me, where it used to be steelbook, you know, ad infinitum, it's about the film, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Really, at the end of the day, it's about the film.
That's right.
You can certainly look at a film and turn around and say, do I like this film so much I want it on 4K, or can I actually just do with the Blu-ray of it or the DVD of it?
And I do that now.
The way I look at it surely just having the film and having it in the case, functional is enough.
Do you think the price of 4K has gone up too much in comparison? You know, and now I'm saying to myself, I'd rather just have the Blu-ray. I mean, it can be about a £10 difference.
I think, in my own opinion, and I'll ask Denny this in a moment.
Yeah,
I think what it is that I used to be happy buying the 4K because it used to have the Blu-ray included in the case.
Yeah.
Right.
It used to,
As soon as they took that out and it stayed the same price, which is the same sort of thing that Cadbury's do in regards to a chocolate bar and charging the same price as last year, knock about 25 grams off of it per chocolate bar, right? That's the same sort of thing that they're doing. And I think a lot of physical media is down to the fear of missing out sort of thing, where they're sort of like saying, oh, we've only got, you know, so much of this, we're having trouble with distribution and all that sort of stuff, so you can only have it in this country and that country. They're going back to, it doesn't matter that something is not you don't have to have multi-region now to be able to have it. They're starting to say you can only get this in England now, and you can only get this in America now, and all of this sort of stuff, which means that you're having to buy things and have it imported in, and then you've got the inflated prices in regards to the postage and all sorts of stuff like that's going on. And it doesn't help physical media, where we want physical media to win, you know, over streaming. But there's too many prima donnas out there that companies, you know, like I think Disney is guilty of this, in the fact that they'll only bring out stuff on steelbooks. I think Tron was the only thing that I saw that seemed to get a steelbook, and then it came out a couple of weeks later in a standard sort of Blu-ray or 4K case, plastic.
They've not been doing it, have they?
Otherwise, if you wanted something from Star Wars or Marvel or something, it was like $69.99 or something stupid, and I'm going, what? But Denny, over to you in regards to the film debacle. Are you happy with films being in a normal case? Is it all about the film? Is it,
Well, for me, I know I'm going to sound a bit hypocritical. It depends on the film. I mean, obviously, not being a film like Black 7, the Doctor Who box sets.
Yeah.
I love that. We all three of us pay for the limited edition box sets because they're special to us. If it's a film I really like and I want it in my collection, I mean, I'm thinking of one coming up somewhere in time. We spoke about this still, about there was like a yellow tint on the Blu-ray. I want that out of my collection. I want the 4K. For me, I'm not really interested in having the Blu-ray in the case. The price has stopped the same, which is a bit naughty. But if I've got the 4K, why would I want the Blu-ray anyway? To come back to you at one point that Ian made about why would you want to film that you don't really want? And I can only put this down to if you collect sets. I'm into Empire Pictures, Full Moon Entertainment. Even though I'm a collector, I want each one in that particular set. Even though probably I'd only watch the film once. That's the only excuse really I can give to that end. But I quite 100% agree with you. Why on earth do you want to buy a pile of films like this when they just go into the storage or the collection? You never see them again. Delia went on about streaming. One of the biggest problems we've got coming up. You're going about Disney. If Netflix get Warner Brothers, we're buggered. We are seriously buggered. I want Paramount to get it. I can't see them getting it because I've already balked at the idea of having another 20 billion on top. It is really concerning, not only for physical media, but for also theatrical films as well. Because they said they're going to keep it separate. I have got now... I mean, has Stranger Things even come out on physical media? I don't even know that.
Did in the States, didn't it? Up to a certain season or something, I think. And then they didn't do any more, I think, past the third one. And they're up to the fifth, part 2 or something, aren't they now?
Yeah. But that's one of my biggest concerns, obviously. They have got a 2026 slate of the 4K releases. Beyond that, I don't think we know. Again, it's seriously concerning because there's a lot of films from Warner Brothers I still want on 4K. Just going back to the point again about 4K with the Blu-ray, as you know by now, Salem's Lot's coming out in March.
Yeah.
That is going to be day one buy. I've already ordered it anyway. That was £35. That was from Arrow. I don't care whether the Blu-ray's in or not. I want the 4K because I've got the 2-part, the mini-series in 2, and I've got the theatrical version if I want to watch that. Really, I can't really add too much more to that. But as I said, my concerns for physical media is that Warner Brothers Netflix deal, if I'm honest.
Well, the good news is on that, though, isn't it, that it's not actually a done deal yet. It's just on paper. They've accepted the bid. It's got to get past Congress. It's got to be all sorts of things looked at in regards to monopolization, you see, because they like our country, has got a monopolism mergers committee.
But did you know there's a clause in the contract, though, even if Netflix don't get it, they've got to give them Netflix have got to give them $5 billion. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So that's the concerning point to me. They won't want to lose that. But if Netflix win, we'll lose everything.
Oh, yeah. I've got no doubts it would be a very concerning day that when the contract goes through, it will be a concerning day. Until that point, I just go, let's hope, but it would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Denny? Because I think we've all had a little chat now.
Don't think so, no. I've had me mouth for Christmas.
Let's have a little look and see what people are saying, shall we? So let's have a look. Well, first of all, we got Ox. Hello, Ox. Hi up, you festive humbuggers. Yeah. By the way, turn that bloody crap out the way for a start. My rant on that gone out the door. Bloody Christmas hats, bars, last load of shit. Right. Hope you're okay. Ox, who else we got? We got Cy. Hello, Cy. Bahhh Humbug, you filthy animals. Now, where's that from? You filthy animals. I think Ian knows where that comes from. For definite. You know where that comes from, Denny?
No.
Home Alone?
Never watched Home Alone.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's an interesting one. Wow, there we go. Maybe we'll talk about
the top films. Now they do nothing for me. I can't stand out with the top comedy like that.
That's not a problem. And then we've got Colin Jones, aka Ponder, my techie friend. Where are you? We're themed Bahhh Humbug hats. Well, I've just chucked my bloody Bahhh Humbug out the bleeding window. That went. And effectively a 4-day week. Absolutely marvelous for you. I take it. It's not a 4-day week. I've got to go back to work Monday, so there you go. So I'm still going. Of course, there are some people, Ian, that only work at Christmas because he's Santa. Oh, sorry, I've given the game away there. In fact, not many people know this, but he actually beams from the North Pole. That's why he's so cold and got bloody jumpers on all the time. That's why. nothing to do with the heating. Right. To Rocket ho ho humbug. Merry Christmas all. Ho to you as well, Rocket Buddy. And we've got Sandra Clark. There we go. Hello all.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
That's absolutely marvelous. So that's working for you, Sandra, in here. Like I say, no blockers or anything. But we've all talked about that, Ian. But we'll address that again a little bit later on if it's mentioned. But Sai said hi, Sandra. Look. And Sandra said hello, hi back. And then we've got hi to Rocket Bunny. And then we've got, it's nice to actually be able to chat. Me and my friend Paul are both blocked on Ian's channel. And I just want to address that again. Ian is not tech savvy enough to know how to block anybody.
No, I'm not.
Right? I don't have Ian's password to block him, to put anything there. And so I think it's just YouTube is being particularly funny. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. I mentioned it to Ian several weeks ago. Ever since our friend Tony, we'll talk about if he's in. Tony's a mutual friend of us all, and he's lost the spanner because he was our moderator. And next to all of the names, there's numbers, and some of these always did have a number. Rocket Bunny had a number, but you know, I don't remember Tony York having a 46 at the end. It used to just say Tony York, from what I remember rightly. And if you try and type in Tony York 46 in a search engine to try and find, it doesn't come up. Do you remember we tried to do this here? We said, right, Tony York 46. It said, can't find the account. So YouTube has done something really weird. And I've got a funny feeling that a lot of these problems, Sandra, are based on all of that. I can certainly say this: Ian wouldn't block you for a start. And I tell you what, from my point of view, I don't have time to scan lots of text when I'm on Ian's channel for me to block anybody because I'm too busy reading the questions off of the sheet. We're trying to get through all of them by about 11 o'clock, and we're always on to about 12 because we can't get through the damn things. So I ain't got time to go down block or whatever it is.
Exactly.
All I can say is I'm just totally confused, Sandra, totally confused by it all. But I know that Ian doesn't know how to block, and he ain't got time enough to go down there and right click and choose block when he's going through all the comments. So whether it's somebody in the room has done it, whether it's YouTube's logarithm, whether it's something, I don't know. I can't answer it. And I wouldn't know who Paul's account is.
No.
Is it Paul something 4080 or whatever it is? I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue. So that's all I can say on that. And apologies, because nobody would want that to happen to them. I know what it's like being in chat rooms for films when I couldn't talk. I was going, is anybody ignoring me? I've been saying things over and over again. And until the person that was hosting it actually went past my question, I didn't know that they couldn't even see me. It's really horrible when that happens. But anyway, the next one is, oh, look, there he is. He's like a bloody bad penny, look. Bloody Tony, look. Here he is. Tony Royal Mail York. Good evening, Del, Denny and Ian and chat.
Hello, Tony.
Anybody who doesn't know, he's got shares in Royal Mail and sends every piece of crap. I mean, every film he's got that he doesn't want anymore over to Ian. He said, I swear, if Royal Mail turn around and do everything by weight or something rather than dimension, that's the end of Tony of Ian getting any films from now on. Because the weight of those, I feel sorry for the postman who has to deliver it. Poor sob. It must weigh a ton. Anyway, well, Merry Christmas to you, Tony. Thanks very much for coming along, and it's great to have you here. Then we've got Sandra saying, "Hello, Tony. Nice to see you." Absolutely, man. What can you see him? If you can you poke him in the eye for me, please? That'd be really nice of you. Then we got Sai saying, "Hi, Tony York." And then we've got Tony saying, "Hi, Sandra. YouTube seems weird at the moment. At the same time, you were no longer able to comment. My spanner disappeared."
Yeah,
which is what I was just saying.
Yeah.
Really weird what's going on. And I do apologize, Sandra, but we continue to keep looking at it, Ian, don't we? At the end of our chat, we've got time. We have a quick look at settings and stuff.
Yeah.
Just can't get to the bottom of it. Don't know what's going on.
Don't forget, though, we still haven't got to the bottom of why our comments keep disappearing every week as well. I mean, mine just seem to just the only way around I ever put was, what do I put now, Del, every time?
Placeholder.
That's placeholder. I type placeholder, leave it, and then come back and put your edit, and then put your comments. That's stick.
Yeah.
But if you don't,
you're not the only one, Sandra. In fact, that is quite legitimate. The amount of times where I've said, "Well, there's no comment from Denny this week," or Steve's Gaming, and then they would come back to me and they would say, "I left the comment, disappeared." And no, I didn't delete it. I've always turned around and said, I read out the comments. So no idea. And we got round it a little bit by sort of like saying, put a placeholder, wait 24 hours, and then right underneath the placeholder what you're going to put, because that seems to be the way that we got round it. But yeah, it's really weird, and sorry about that. And anyway, Merry Christmas to Tony and Sandra. So we've got Tony saying hi, and Sai's got as well for justice for Tony, look, and his spanner. I think we better call him Dick Spanner, hadn't we? Because that's one for the old folks, Dick Spanner. That is all right. Was that Channel 4? I think it was something like that. Then we've got Tony York saying, "I know, Sai, it's something that keeps me awake at night." Good. Little bastard. You got to stay awake all night, you little shit. You can sleep far too much. And then we got Sai saying, "Sandra, at least you weren't blocked by Stacey."
Oh,
now, that's a bit controversial. We don't want to start any arguments. I mean, she's around and she's all right. But I must admit, my God, the amount of questions that comes out of that lady. I mean, it's I like it personally, but some of them are so long that you just can't get another question in edgeways. That's the problem with that. And, but I don't like to block anybody, and but Tony's then gone, "I was, and I'm proud of it." He was proud of being blocked.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can block you by the end of the night, Tony. How's that then? You can be proud of that. Little shit. Right, and then back to Sai, we pushed them to the limit like the renegades we are.
Yeah.
Why not? Renegades, yay. And then at least I just sees the funny side of that. That's brilliant. Tony then says, seen several videos of people playing, saying some 4K discs are not playing.
Yeah.
Glad I have very few. Blu-ray is fine for me. And I have to say that I've been watching that for about 6 months or more, the debacle on 4K not playing. Some people have turned around and said it's because of the gas that's made from the cases. It leaves a sort of like a mist or a smear that goes onto the discs, and you need to therefore clean your discs with 98% alcohol before putting them in. Others are saying it's because of BIOS updates that you can do for your player. Others are saying it's happening on my player, and I've had my player for a couple of years. And I have to say, we are in a throwaway nation, and lenses, that's disc lenses inside those things, are held in plastic now, not in metal holders like they used to be. There used to be a sort of like a mechanism that moved back and forth, and it used to go along a metal pulley. They're made of plastic and grommets now. It could be that you've got a misalignment. And by the way, has anybody put themselves a Blu-ray disc cleaner inside their players just recently? The other thing is it could be the epidemic that we're talking about, which is the discs are not manufactured to a good enough quality anymore. All I know is that I've not had a problem. Somebody mentioned earlier this year about Tron not playing from chapter 9. I put chapter 8 on, played all the way to chapter 12, no stalling. Could the disc have been a manufacturer problem? Could he send it back, get another one? Did it do the same thing? All sorts of things. There are a lot of unknowns here, and some people are saying, oh, it happened in my Sony. Somebody turned around and said it happened in my Pioneer. Somebody said it happened in my Panasonic, etc., etc., etc. And all I know is hasn't happened too much to me. When I say too much, I haven't played every film in my collection. I'm looking after my mum, and I just haven't got around to it. But I will say, yeah, the players are not as built to the same standard as they were years ago. And all I know is that 4K discs are the same manufacturing process as Blu-rays, but they do have an extra coating. They are thicker. And also they're triple layered. And it used to be dual layer and single layer on Blu-rays. And it could be that triple layer that's causing the problem. So many different YouTube channels are talking about that. And right now I'm saying to everybody, clean your discs, do updates, that sort of thing. Put a disc cleaning kit in it. You never know. I haven't heard anybody turn around and said they cleaned the lens and then tried again. I haven't heard anybody on YouTube say that, and it still did it. That's a interesting point. But yeah, Tony, it's good that you're happy with what you're getting. I'm happy with what I'm getting, and it's a horrible thing to a person that it happens to. That's what I have to say about that. Sandra then said, "It is poor Denny going to get a word in." He had a bloody 10-minute rant at the beginning of this, Sandra. You turned up late to the party, is what I say. I mean, Ian was sitting there like a muppet, and I had to sort of like get Ian involved. So I was busy trying to do that, but I wanted to give everybody a chance. And then Si's got the only 2 films I've got in multiple formats are Star Wars and The Sting. Now, over to you, Denny. What is the one title that you've got the most of in so many different versions? VHS and Laserdisc and DVD and Blu-ray and then 4K. What's the one title that you've got, or a couple of titles?
Oh my God, what a question! Oh my God. Well, it might be Star Wars actually, because I bought
the first Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I bought them on VHS, then I bought them on DVD, all of them. Then I bought them Blu-ray, then all the spin-off films, and then I upgrade. Well, I bought that. I bought the big box set on 4K. You know, the big one that was released.
Oh, the Luke Skywalker set.
Yeah, it was that big long rectangle box with all the films.
Wasn't it called the Luke Skywalker box set? And it was all of the films, and they called it under the banner Luke. I think they called it the Luke Skywalker.
It might be wrong. It might be. But yeah, off the top of my head, I think it's got to be that one. Sometimes I bought films like Somewhere in Time. It's been released on DVD 3 or 4 times before it's gone to Blu-ray, and every time I bought it because I'm thinking, yeah, it might be a better quality print. Yeah. So that's the collector in me, Ian. That's why I keep buying them. But it's films I want, you know. It is films I want. But yeah, I would say it's Star Wars. And do
you get rid of the older versions as you go up to the newer ones?
Basically I offer them out, or I keep them if they've got special special features on that, like the box set hasn't got. You know, if I want to do that. Failing that, sometimes I just keep them, because what I'm noticing now, a lot of discs are going up in price, even though they've come out later. The previous ones, I think something you brought up quite a while ago was when that re-released discs, and that wasn't to the same quality as what there was before.
I was just about to bring that up. There was a conversation, Denny, that I'm just going to tell everybody. There was a conversation Denny and I had. There was a YouTube video, and a very nice guy, and he turned around and said, "Why should I be interested in buying all these old box sets over the newer versions that come in the cheaper wrappings?" And what he found out is that there were more episodes on each of the discs to cut the discs down. And what he found is that they were cut down versions where they'd been sort of like doctored. They were sort of like TV rebroadcasts that had certain scenes cut out because of being politically correct, I suppose, is the best term for it. And so if you bought the older versions, then you'd have the truer version of the title. And a classic example of that was Frasier. They were saying that those were first initially released in the sort of like early 2000s, and if you buy the newer versions, then they're the ones that are being broadcast on Channel 4 at the moment, where they're shown in the morning. So bits and pieces that are a bit risque cut out, and therefore you're trimming off seconds. And then if you keep trimming off seconds for every episode, then basically you can fit more on a disc, and there you are. It's nothing to do with the compression, although that would come into it. But there you are. But anyway, that's talking about that, Denny. You carry on now, and then we'll get to Ian.
Yeah, I'll just say just one other little thing with that. Really, a lot of them, a lot of the early times when that was released, a lot that they used to keep all the original music intact. When they come to release them later, the license is gone for the music, so you lose all the original music within the disc. I mean, it was like that one I bought, Knight Rider. Perfect example. It come out on 4K, but there were still syndicated episodes, and the episodes with cut music. To me, I'm going to spend nearly £150 on something that was cut on 4K. The German turbine set, now that was the set to get. All the music cues was there, and it's all in English, and they're all the proper I can never say the word. They're all the proper episode. So that was, shot in the day. So, I'll always go with stuff like that. But there's not many things. I mean, I've got like the Tomorrow People, all the originals I had in a long line, and I was going to get rid of them, but I bought them back down from the loft because I bought the big box set, and I've noticed, and I've gone online, and there's a lot of cuts. So it's the complete series, but it's not complete because that just cutting stuff out of them, and it's more compressed as well. So I've gone back to the
and I think anybody that doesn't realize this, I think we've educated a few people, because it is very true. We live in a world where they want to give these things out at a cheaper price, and it looks like it's an absolute bargain, but there's no such thing as a free meal I think is what my dad used to tell me, and it's an old saying that, and it looks very much like be careful on what you're buying. And there's another little thing that going back to that 4K freezing. Should we be worried when we go into places like cash converters or CEX, because they could be a disc that's frozen in their player, and they've given it to Kex and said, "There you are, you can have that," and they get a voucher for it, and then you go and buy it off the shelf, don't you? And go, "Oh, look, I've got a bargain here. Look." And actually, it's the one that's stuck in their system, and they basically took it in there. Give away.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes,
even the secondhand market is a little bit tricky to buy from. eBay, all of that sort of stuff. You don't know, because not everybody instantly watches the film as soon as it comes through the post to them. They got a stack up here that says, "Oh, this is my stack of films I've got to get through this week," and by the time you find out, that's 30 days gone and you can't return it, or whatever it is, whatever the policy is with CEX or whatever. So got to be bloody careful with this. So, over to you, Ian, for your opinion, Ian, on this.
Sorry, let's see, multiple formats. There were me ranting away, but there are one or two.
Well, I just want to say that I do know 2001 is obviously
obviously
not. Over to you now for the rest.
Dune 84, I absolutely love. I've even got various DVD copies of it with extra bits and extras. Then I've got the Blu-rays, and then I've got the 4Ks. I even got the American version of it. But the thing that I have stopped at, because there was an Australian one, wasn't there? An imprint one, and it was in sand. It was about 200 quid. I don't think I quite got that far. It's too much, but Dune 84 is a big film for me that I like. Also, another film that I've really enjoyed getting a lot of is Life Force. I don't know. I just love Life Force. It's a great film. And I've had that in virtually every format, since VHS days, and just absolutely love Life Force. And another horror film that is, I know is not the greatest horror film, but I absolutely love, for some reason, I love it, which is Children of the Corn. And it gets a hell of a lot of flack because it's a minor sort of Stephen King. But for some reason, I seem to latch onto it. And I've had that in various forms. I think it's just something that, it's not the greatest, but you kind of love it. And that's a film like that. I think that I think they're the main ones, really. Of films, the Star Wars, I've just got the standard ones,
What about my favorite, Ian?
Star Trek, the motion picture. I've had that in all forms. That's true. I knew you'd say that. I'll tell you what I did have, and sometimes I do regret getting rid of it, even though I don't like VHS. I had this massive case. It ain't often for me to get these luxury editions, but I got of all the Star Trek films. Absolutely beautiful it was. This case that you opened up, and every Star Trek movie was in it, and all VHS. And I got rid of it, but I sold it for quite a good price. But so I suppose that is it. And you have to not regret too much, I sort of decided I finished with VHS, and that's it. You've got to make that decision. Some people now are coming back. They're going around the charity shops. Oh, look, I've got a copy of Jaws I picked up, and it's all nostalgia because they haven't even got a player. I can understand it a bit, but to build up a bigger collection, what about Doctor Who? I mean, I got rid of all my VHS Doctor Who's. And you know, now you get people. I see them coming on YouTube. Oh, I've been collecting now these VHS. Pick these up in charity shops, and there's people getting into that. But I mean, some of the covers were quite nice, I must admit.
Yeah.
But it's gone. I'm not going to go around on eBay trying to get them all back again and pay extortionate prices for something I'm not going to be able to play and taking up. But the thing about VHS, which for me was, I don't get romantic about VHS. The problems I had at the end when I was buying VHS, every time I was watching a VHS tape, the blooming thing, you were like on tenterhooks, you know, because of the quality. I think it went really down, and the picture was awful. And in the end, I just said, no, that's it. I'm getting rid of all my VHS. But I know there's probably something that when the earlier releases of VHS were probably better, maybe the tape quality was better. But I think when they got more and more mass produced, the tape quality must have gone down, I think. Because
back in the day, and they used to Blockbusters and some of the independent video stores used to sell ex-rentals, and those were built, I think, with a special coating so that they had multiple plays. You know, it's because they could be rented out for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they'd go into the bargain bin before they came out on sell-through. And those tapes were like 75, 80 quid per tape to the video, you know, to the person, you know, to the company that was renting it. You know, Blockbusters could stomach that, but some of the independent ones, they could only order like 2 or 3 copies for that week, you know, and then you had to wait weeks before you could get round to renting it because it was pre-booked in advance by people. So I do remember all of that. And then those tapes were like 25 quid at first, and then they were like 20 quid, and then they were like 15 quid, and then they were a tenner, and then it was on sell-through. So you might as well be buying it brand new rather than the ex-rental one, unless you wanted the big box version of it because it was in a bigger box as well. I remember all of that. So that you've mentioned all the ones that you've got. Well, I suppose really. Star Trek motion picture is obviously going to be the one that I've got the most on multiple formats, but it's closely followed by probably Blade Runner and The Thing. If a copy of The Thing comes out or a copy of Blade Runner comes out, I tend to be going, oh yeah, all right, I'll buy it again. Yeah, all right, yeah. It's got a different cover. Oh, the font is different at this time. Oh shit. They put a different text on the back of the box. All right, I'll have to have that then. It is bad, but there are only certain. You know, Spider-Man's my thing. Most people knows that, so I've got several of that. But Star Trek the motion picture is the one that I've got the most of. I would say, just as a quick answer. I know that The Sting is one of his he talks about it all the time, and it's great. It's nice to know people that have got a passion, even if he is a little bitch sometimes. I mean, even if he is a nice guy and everything and wants to tell us about The Sting. Honestly, Si, I was only joking when I said that to you. But yeah, Star Wars. I mean, anybody that knows I've got the Laserdisc version still of Star Wars. God. The definitive collection that cost me £199 back in the day. So, and I've bought all the steel books, and it's a bit of a passion, isn't it, when you've got all these things. So, and Ian and I used to have that joke, didn't we, about that film that was from Star Trek Discovery. And we said, what's this piece of shit that came out?
Oh, the awful one, yeah.
And then I went and bought it, didn't I?
Why did you do that? I could never understand.
I bought it on a steelbook for £2 from CEX, and it was the only way. It's the only way I bought it. But I was going, I've got to have a gap on this. I'm going to have a gap. I'm going to have a gap.
That's the worst film, Star Trek film
ever made. Section.
I can never remember the title of it.
Pronoun
guys? It had a number in it. Expedition.
It's section 31. It was, wasn't it?
Section 30. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Awful.
Bag of shit. Anyway,
it was the worst thing I've ever seen. It really was.
That was what I said. That was what I sent to you digitally, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Just out of interest, you know, you're collecting all the films and all that, and you've had them again and again. Do you both still keep your Doctor Who DVDs along with your Blu-rays?
Yes, I do. In fact, I love my Doctor Who DVDs. I think they look great. I wouldn't get rid of them. In fact, I often review, because I'm reviewing other things, is that they're the only thing I've got. It's like I'm doing William Hartnell at the moment. And his season 1 hasn't been released on Blu-ray, has it? And it probably won't get released for many years. So I'm enjoying, you know, my DVDs, and I loved buying them at the time. It was like building up, you know, as they came out. I used to get them every time they came out, and they were good. And of course, they did then eventually, as they developed, produce special edition DVDs where you'd get a whole disc full of extras. And lovely. You see, this is where I never understand the hatred about DVDs. For all the people saying, you know, this and that about them, sometimes DVDs, I find, you know, especially when they're upscaled, you get a really good and also, didn't they often do better extras than what we get nowadays? I mean, you get these 4K discs, people paying a lot of money, there's hardly any extras on. Whereas you get a good DVD sometimes, and they're absolutely stacks.
Extras started for me with Laserdisc. And I still haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure my Alien still has more as extras than any edition that's ever come out, because the whole shooting script was in step format. You know, the actual. They took a picture of every single page of the script and stuck that, and you just had to just go step forward, and it would come up as a page, including all of the picture, you know, all of the artwork, you know, the shooting boards, and that's not been done or reproduced on any format after Laserdisc. So there you are. But yeah, I think we better move on. I think we've all answered that question, and we got to Tony, and he's put, can't think of any that I have more than one copy of. No, because you keep bloody sending them to Ian, don't you? I mean, anything that you got bloody duplicate of, you send to him. Jesus Christ, man. How are you supposed to have a duplicate of something if you keep sending stuff to him before every Wednesday? We call it Tony York Corner, by the way, in the live Wednesday section, because every bloody week he's still going through what Tony York has sent to Ian this week, you know. Even if it's been 3 months back, he sends enough content to last 5 months. So anyway, Tony, we love you. Si says, so Del, are you telling me that Santa is a Leeds fan? What the fuck? Wow, I have to turn around. Is Leeds a fan of Santa? Yes, we know that Ian is Santa. We've said that right in the beginning. So yeah, he is Santa. So, and he is a Leeds fan. So yeah, there you go. But, you know, apparently they've been good little boys this year. They haven't been on the naughty list. So I believe that they're going to get something this year. That's the consensus. We get to Sandra. He says, my name has grown an 8661 number. No idea why. I didn't change it. Exactly. This is what we're trying to say to you, Sandra, that didn't happen before, and now you've got numbers at the end. Could that be one of the reasons why we've got these problems? We'll never know. I have no idea, but YouTube did some weird things this year. I don't know if anybody noticed, but they did this ranking system that said you are number one in the list in the chat of the highest person commenting today, and all of this sort of stuff. Bollocks, all that.
Yeah.
Soon turn that off. So, you know, I mean, YouTube is a great platform. It gives me the opportunity to do stuff every week and talk and all of that sort of stuff, and it's free. But they do some weird shit. They really do. Tony says, I didn't add 46 either. No, that's what we're trying to say. And Through the Lenses here.
Hello, Josh.
Hey guys, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Hope everything's going well. Tony says thanks for the shout out and rant, Del. Really appreciate it. Anybody that knows me knows I only rant to people that I really like. So there you go. So it's sort of a thing that it started off as a joke in Ian's channel and sort of like grew. Anybody that looks at my early stuff will know I wouldn't even say bloody or something on a YouTube video, and now it's just ranting and raving left, right, and centre. I swear if my mum saw any of it, she'd want me to have my mouth washed out with soap. So there you go. Did I read that out? Yeah, I did. Through the Lenses, but I find that social media platforms are getting stricter with what can be said, probably why I keep getting banned by TikTok. Yes, anybody that goes to Through the Lens, he's got a brilliant channel, by the way. He's been banned a couple of times on TikTok just for sounding out a couple of people about their collection. By saying, oh, I don't know why you like that film. It's the biggest load of pants or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, TikTok are on top of him saying you breached our guidance. What? What? For sounding somebody out about a bad film? You can have an opinion, can't you? Not everybody enjoys the same type of films. I find that very disgusting for you. So, my friend, they ban you for 3 days and then they bring you back. But it's what a stupid thing to do. I mean, you're trying to grow your channel and you say to somebody, Section 31 of the Star Wars Discovery film is the biggest load of pants I've ever seen in my life, and all of a sudden you get banned for it. It's shit. What are you supposed to say? Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. Or, well, some people like it and some people don't. Well, you have to be on the fence all the time with this stuff. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, really, to be quite honest.
I'll be banned for life.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
Collins put, I banned myself from TikTok.
Yeah.
It did me head in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't get on with it. So.
No big shakes from me. Is anyone up to date with Pluribius?
Yes, I am.
Absolutely loving it. Vince Gilligan is a genius, in my humble opinion. Anything for you guys to say on that? I have been meaning to get round to watching it. I've seen one episode.
Yeah, I'm up to. I've got one episode to watch. I've just watched the latest one. It's probably one of the best things I've ever seen this year.
But you like Slow Horses. What do you think of Slow Horses this year? Is it the same as all the other years, or has it slowed down?
If you pardon the pun.
Pun intended.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Slow Horses this year had its moments. It wasn't as good. They've got a little bit too, shall we say, they went a bit too left again for my liking. It was only in a couple of scenes, but that did keep the majority out of it. But it was still better than the pap that they put out. But Pluribus is absolutely superb. It's
Where's
one of them.
That being streamed? Is it being streamed, Plurib?
Yeah, it's Apple TV.
It's Apple TV.
No.
Give us a brief overview of a synopsis of it. Is it a space series? Is it a Western series?
It's a mixture, I would say, of I Am Legend mixed in with elements of the Cybermen and the Borg without. I can't give too much away because it'll spoil it for when.
That's why I said just give us a bit of an overview.
It's not nothing to do with it. It's an element that the Cybermen and the Borg have got in common.
Is it set on Earth?
It's set on Earth. That I can tell up to yet. Because you don't know with Vince Gilligan. But it's, oh God, I don't say too much. I'm going to give this away. It's better just to watch it. It's just one of those series that grips you from the start. You watch an episode, the 46 minutes just goes like that, and you just think, well, nothing's happened in it, but it was absolutely superb. It's just like Sicers. It's absolute genius by Vince Gilligan. Some are saying it's about.
So if you got Apple TV, it's a must watch. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if and torrents, you got those as well. Like
Well, I obviously people can make their own decisions on whether they're going to look elsewhere, but it's Apple TV, I believe. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's Apple TV. Yes.
Apple
but naughty
TV.
Naughty people go to torrents. Don't do that.
Yeah. I'll send you a copy. I'll send you a copy after this broadcast, Ian. All right. Sorry, I hope nobody heard that. I hope nobody's heard that of the 12 or 13 that are watching this.
It's funny. I say it's based on like I Am Legend. It is in a way, but the Earth is still populated. There's an element of a Cyberman and a Borg, as I've said, which is part of the story. What else can I say? Post-apocalyptic without being post-apocalyptic.
Right. Okay.
It's really cryptic what I'm saying.
Dystopian in a way, then?
In a way, it is dystopian, but according to form, this is about AI. And I believe it's also... Well, it's the way people interpret it. Some people are saying about how people identify as well. It's not... trust me, it's nothing to do with being... If I use the words woke, it's nothing. I haven't, I've watched this through. I haven't seen anything, but there seems to be tangible markers as for me about self-identification and what a person can be or what a group of people can be. If you've got to watch it, I mean, that's what I get from it. Whether somebody else looks at it and says you're talking absolute crap, that that's their opinion, that's mine. But if you're going to watch something this year, I would wholly recommend this. Recommend it. So I mean, I don't know what Si thinks of it.
Not very Christmassy, is it? But we'll go past it. But that is I mean, I always get a personal recommendation from Denny every time that he was talking, and definitely if that's something that has whetted your appetite, please go and watch that. I mean, if you've ever, we will get to Christmas TV shortly, and I'm telling you what, some of these things are best to actually watch. You know what I mean? Is some of the things that we're talking about, because I'll tell you, well, we'll talk about TV times and all of the rest of it in a bit. But we got then Tony saying the 4K player I thought was broken isn't. I got a new HDMI cable and it seems okay now. Again, didn't bring in the cable situation, but yes, could your problem be that your port at the back is a bit strained? Is it the cable itself? Is that you're plugging into your player? Is that the issue with the freezing? Could be anything. Do you see what I mean? There's so many people that are saying, oh, it's 4K, it's 4K, that's what the problem is. Multiple things it could be. I will never turn around and say it's one thing or another. You really do need to look at these things as being so many different factors, that you got to bring into all of this. So totally agree with you there, Tony. And Sandra's put, well, I am very excited for Christmas. I still have to make a cheesecake and a trifle, but everything else is done and I'm really looking forward to it. Christmas is a wonderful time. Right. Wow, Sandra, I'm glad that you're a bit of a bright light in this time, because I'm telling you now, Christmas, it can go do one as far as I'm concerned. It's an absolute shit fest. The only thing that I'm going to be grateful of is that my mum will still be around and I'll be spending my time with her on that. But when I think about Christmases in the past and Christmas this year, it's chalk and cheese, it's night and day. But I'm so glad that there are so many people that can still find enjoyment. I suppose my pessimism has come from many different avenues. Some of it has been when I was living by myself in Manchester. Some of it has been working for the probation service, where each year I would come in the new year and find that an offender that I got chatting to when they were going to be waiting for their probation officer killed themselves over Christmas. There's all sorts of things like that going on, and I'm sure we've seen the adverts for homelessness and all sorts of stuff. It's brilliant for some, not for others. The world goes round, and I'm just so glad that there are so many people that can have a really good time over Christmas. I'd never want wish for somebody to be as miserable as I might be or something on a day that's supposed to be joyous or happy, because I had some marvelous happy times. Unfortunately, they were quite some years ago. That's the thing. And then I become pessimistic. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. I'll just see if there's because we might go back to it, because Size put, I'm getting 3 different Christmas dinners this year. You greedy bastard. I mean, that's really good, Si. I'm so happy that you're getting 3 dinners, you little shit. So goddaughters on Christmas Eve, best mates for Christmas Day, and my mate's mams on Boxing Day. Pray for my waistline. No, you little shit. I mean, I'm getting 1 and living with it. I don't feel sad for you at all, you little bastard. I mean, right. I think that's got the Christmas dinner bit in. So we might as well talk about Christmas dinner for Ian first. Let's talk about Christmas dinner, Ian, of the past and of now. What would you like to talk about?
One thing I'll say straight away.
I've just got to go and get a water, so I don't mind while he's talking.
I'll go and have a rant. Sprouts. Look, who invented sprouts? I can't stand them. The smell, the taste, and everybody gets this wonderful idea that you've got to have them at Christmas. You know, rest of the year people don't eat them, but come on, let's have sprouts. It's a tradition at Christmas. And yeah, I know there are probably a lot of people who love them, but I can't stand the smell. And they just taste foul. But nobody says, rest of the year, I'll just have sprouts. It's always at Christmas. It's like you're forced to have them. Good, I don't like sprouts that much, but it's Christmas, so we'll have sprouts. Horrible things, not going near my plate. Stay right away. I don't want them. No. That's my sprout rant. I don't like sprouts. As you gather. Horrible things.
So is sprouts the only thing that you don't like at Christmas? What about the work that goes into making it and all that sort of stuff?
It's me that probably has to do it anyhow at that moment. In other words, I'll be honest, it's not as enjoyable when you do it yourself. When my wife was alive, it was easier, and but me having to do it all, and it's not the same. I don't get the same enjoyment at all from that. Well,
I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this out here. I keep seeing adverts with around about 15 people sitting around a table having a Christmas dinner. Right? Does anybody have that happen? Like 15 people around a table?
Exactly. Also, another thing that makes me laugh. Well, I've seen this on YouTube. There's somebody's been to Iceland and they've bought themselves a frozen Christmas dinner. Spent about 30 quid on it, and there they are. I'm just trying this out. Well, I'm sorry, but it's going to be crap. It's crap. They're complaining. You just know, don't you? You think to yourself, are you stupid? Why have you spent 30 quid? Why couldn't you? You could probably easily get some turkey or some or chicken or whatever for much cheaper and do it yourself. Whereas, no, I've got to get this crap. And it must be they must pick the worst sort of cuts of. It's probably not even chicken or turkey, is it? It's probably something that they've just stuck together.
Processed, somewhat processed, isn't it?
And a couple of roast potatoes that don't look like roast potatoes, and those horrible sprouts, and some gravy that doesn't look like gravy. Not a proper gravy, is it? A proper gravy. Don't have any of that crap. Now, I know it's ridiculous. And
what about you, Denny?
A YouTube video, do a taste test on that crap.
What about you, Denny? Christmas this year, food and Christmas dinners in the park.
Just a traditional Christmas dinner, to be honest. All over the year. Well, I mean, it's like I think it was you were saying, Ian, you know, since you lost your wife, nothing's been the same. And to be quite honest, we used to have me, you know, my nan and my nan's sister over, and it used to be a big traditional, you know, Christmas dinner. And obviously, my nan and me nan's sister have passed away, and things just don't seem the same anymore.
No.
You know, over the years, it just fades away. And I think, like I said to my mum and dad this year, I said, every Christmas has just died a little bit every year, and I think this year, I doesn't even feel anything. If I'm honest, it's just like everybody's going through the motions. I went to, as I told you earlier, yes, I've had a win on the lottery tonight. I went up to do my lottery, and the shop up the top is open Christmas Day, 10 to 8. And I'm just thinking, you know, I'm not a socialist and I'm not a capitalist. I'm somewhere in the middle. And capitalism has literally destroyed our holiday season for me.
Yeah.
When you are, you know, I mean, you're both old enough to remember about when we used to shut down for 2 weeks. And I think there's a few people on here remember everybody used to break up for Christmas, and it was all a nice break for everybody to get refreshed for the new year. And that's all been lost. The Christmas feeling has been lost. It's just greed and avarice and envy. There's very little about Christmas nowadays. I hate to go down on it, but it's just not Christmas anymore. And I'll be honest, and I think I've said this every year, and I'll keep saying it. My girlfriend every year, she cooks for the church, for the disadvantaged, the Aldens. That is the real spirit of Christmas. Obviously, it's to do with the church. She says to me, well, it's about, Jesus and God and all. I'm not really into religion, as you well know, but she's Christian every step of the way. And for her, that's what Christmas is about, looking after the disadvantaged, Maybe we all miss the Christmas message, but for me, it's still the traditional Christmas dinner. But every year it just seems to get less and less. We've lost my niece this year. She isn't not lost her. I mean, she's moved to Aberystwyth with a partner, so she won't be able to come over this year because I've got a flat, and they need every penny they can get. I'm working all over Christmas, so we'll see them on Zoom on the phone. So it's just my sister, her partner, and my nephew, my mum and dad, and me, and it'll be just Christmas Day for me. Christmas Day afternoon once work's done. So I just get. I'm not envious of people. People can have a nice Christmas, but it does get me down when I've got to work over the Christmas period, just because it just seems all the managers can be off, but you've got to work. And what am I going to get out of it? Half a day off to be with my family.
Yeah. There's a lot of people working over Christmas.
To be honest, working Christmas Day, even bloody Scrooge with Bob Cratchit, bloody Christmas Day off, for Christ's sake. Yeah, that's where capitalism has totally destroyed it for me. And it's just not Christmas anymore. I mean, we're going to talk about what's on the telly. Oh my God,
that's depressing.
Yeah. And they go on. Why do you want physical media?
There's your answer. Yeah,
but sorry to be a downer, but that's how I see Christmas now.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I don't think it's a downer at all. I think it's a sign of the times. To answer the question, really. From my perspective, I mean, I went into Poundland today and said, "Where's your freezer section? I want to buy a turkey for £1." And they went, "Bugger off! We ain't got a freezer section. What the bloody hell are you talking about?" That's the simple matter. I mean, probably Iceland is probably the cheapest place for you to buy something, but like Ian said, you get what you pay for, and it's going to be processed piece of crap. I did look at Iceland's freezers, and they're full of things like millionaire cheesecakes and stuff that cost £4.95. And I thought, millionaire cheesecake. This thing looks bag of shit. What's this? And I bet it tastes like cardboard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, I'm never a big fan of Christmas pudding. The stuff that you pour brandy over and set fire to, and it's full of fruit and all of that sort of stuff. Made it. I like a mince pie, you know, with double cream or something. You know, I'm quite happy with that. My mum always used to like what's that stuff that you do with egg white and stuff, meringue, you know, with ice cream and stuff. So she used to have a pavlova. That's it. She used to like a pavlova at Christmas. Can't find a pavlova at Iceland. Tell you that now. So it looks very much like you'll have to make it yourself. But I think from my perspective, I'm daunted by the fact that I've got to again do what I did last year and make the Christmas dinner. I did it last year because my mum just wasn't very well. She wasn't. She hadn't collapsed or got dementia or anything at that point. But I just said, Mum, I'd like to do it this year so that you put your feet up. So I did it, and I had to ask my aunt, how much do you have to cook? You know, if you bought a £5 or £10 cockerel, how many minutes does it have to be in for 180 degrees and all of that sort of stuff? I had to ask all those questions, and I got through it. I made a nice dinner, I think, and I'll be doing exactly the same this year. Only I've got to work Christmas Eve, and then I've got to start cooking the night before and make sure that I get it out the freezer and all of that sort of stuff so it defrosts overnight and all of that sort of stuff, and cook it the night before, because Christmas Day I'll be having to get my mum out of bed, and my sister will be here for a couple of hours, and then it'll be cooking after they leave. Do you see what I mean? So I'm going to have to start cooking. I'm going to have to hope that they go a little bit early, or I'm going to have a late dinner for my mum. You know what I mean? So, and I'm pretty sure they won't like my mum to be having a late dinner. So, but yeah, from my perspective, it'll be we used to have a Christmas dinner and a Boxing Day dinner, and then we wouldn't have another dinner until New Year's Day. So we'd have the same thing Christmas Day as we would New Year's Day. You know, what I mean is a roast dinner type.
Dinner.
You know, I'm not saying it's the same dinner. I'm saying New Year's Day would be a roast like Christmas Day is a roast. Do you see what I mean? And
do you think that when somebody else cooks a dinner, it's better than when you do it yourself?
Oh yeah.
It always is, isn't it?
Especially if I'm cooking.
No, even if you do a good job, there's still something there, isn't there, that somebody else cooks and it tastes better. To me, it does. You know, mine's just, that's what it is.
Yeah. There's something to be said for a Bisto roast beef dinner, isn't there? You know, a bird's eye roast dinner or something.
No,
$3.99 frozen. But no, it will be fresh. That's the nice thing. It's nice to get all those
fresh.
things. I tell you what, we've still got jars from around about, I swear, from about 5 years ago, of cranberry and mint sauce that we never bring out unless we're having a roast dinner, and we probably have about 2 in the whole of the year. So we've still got them going back about 5 years. You know, I'm gonna have to go through the whole of the cupboard chucking stuff out. You know, but there you go. So I think we've answered the bit about food. That's good. I mean, we'll talk about sweets, I think, a little bit later on. I'm pretty sure we'll bring that into the conversation. So Sandra says, "Ha, wear baggy pants, Saki." Yeah, especially with free bloody meals, you bastard. Not had a trifle for years. I remember my gran used to make fantastic sherry trifles. Do you put sherry in, Sandra? And homemade custard. And Sai says, I've got elasticated waistbanded trousers. And Sandra's answer is yes, always add sherry, and yes, homemade custard. Those important powders just aren't as nice. Anything to say about trifle? Are you a trifle person, Denny? Are you a trifle person, Ian?
Oh yes, I like trifle, but I don't like them sponges at the bottom. Oh God, them horrible.
Oh yeah.
God, them awful. But I like a nice gel.
Like sponges, sponges.
Yeah, God, them are horrible. I'll make custard, but I don't like whipping cream. I like dream topping, and I like it nice and thick. And then I like a great big block of chocolate, all grated. I can't stand it when they just sprinkle them few hundreds and thousands on. I mean, for God's sake, a trifle's got to have a load of chocolate on, and then them big Smarties all crushed up all over the top of that. Absolutely lovely. But now sponges, I'm like your sprouts, them. Oh God, them sponges. It's
yeah. My dad worked for General Foods, so of course they made bird's custard, didn't they? So, but anyway, Ian.
I've not had one for years, but when I think of a trifle, I think of my mum because she was good at making them. She just was brilliant at making these trifles, and yeah, that brings back. You see, what it's funny how you associate things like that, memories of my mum and dad, and Christmas. She'd be my mum used to with terms of food. She'd be preparing in sort of November. In ways, I said with Christmas cakes, she'd be baking Christmas cakes, testing them. They're called testing cakes. And she'd bake a few of them, and then we'd finally get to the big Christmas cake. And then she did trifles, obviously, I think a bit fresher, nearer at the time. But she seemed to spend December in the kitchen baking. We've never seen so much baking. But I'll tell you something, it didn't last long because everybody loved it. It devoured it pretty quickly. Yeah, absolutely lovely. So that's always a good memory of my mum. Thinking of,
I think my answer is sort of like similar because my dad had a sweet tooth, and like I say, he worked for General Foods. Trifles used to be something that my dad liked, and trifle for me, I always remember from my gran, which is my dad's mum. So of course that side of things. So I don't think I've had a trifle in years, to be quite honest. I know you can buy; they're not the same though. Those little pop trifles that you buy from a supermarket. You know, have you noticed? By the way, this is something that really pisses me off, right? And it's only because I used to love it when my dad used to do this. You used to buy steamed puddings in tins, right? That you punctured and you boiled in water, right? Yeah. I know it sounds disgusting, but you know the wrapper used to come off in the water and everything while it was boiling, right? And then you'd open it up and you'd have a chocolate sponge and all of this sort of stuff. They don't make them. They haven't made them in about 20 years. These things. Now you buy these little pots that you put in a microwave and you turn them upside down and you've got some bag of shit. What's all that about? No wonder Nigella and all of that sort of stuff have a fantastic whale of a time telling us how to make chocolate puddings and all that, and how to make Sunday roasts and stuff, because that's the only way you can get your stuff now. It used to be in tins. You used to be able to buy it. But I'm a cheap bastard like that. But you know, trifles. Haven't had a homemade trifle in years. No. Can't say my dad loved them. Mum wasn't a big fan, but he was a sweet tooth, and he worked for General Foods, and he worked in the bird's custard department. So yeah, Angel Delight, all of that, you know. Yeah. So yeah, so that all round to Sandra's then, right? Sandra, if you could just post your address in the comments, please, and just let us know when the dinner comes out the oven and when you've got your pudding coming out of the fridge, please. That'd be fantastic. Only joking, by the way, Sandra. I'm sure you know I'm joking. Tony, oh wow, sounds delicious. Yeah, anything for a free meal for you little bastard. Colin Jones, Life Force, Sci-Fi Vampires. I enjoyed it when I watched it. I must admit, I have got several copies of that. I bought it from America. Then Denny told me it was coming out over here. Then I bought it again. Bastard.
Yeah, but to be fair, Ian, he
always tells me late, by the way, guys. He always tells me late. Right?
But
when something's sold out or something.
Yeah, it's got a special cut, hasn't it, Ian, on one of the British discs, or is it the American disc?
Yeah, there's a special.
I didn't know that one until you told me about it.
You gotta have that. You gotta have everything associated with it.
Yeah.
And we move to Sandra's book. Question for the three wise men. Well, 2.5. I'm not saying who the half is.
Yeah.
If you can only watch one film and play one video game on Christmas Day, what do you pick and why? Now I have to be careful here because Ian's doing a stream of his 5 favorite Christmas.
No problem for me. Yeah.
But we'll go to Ian first then, and then the next question that comes through will be Denny.
As you know, I can't I'm not a gamer. I
No, just answer the film he did.
So therefore, I'll choose a film. And the film, I have to choose it. And I'll probably talk about it again tomorrow when I'm on a stream. It's a film that I just love. And I don't care what anybody says. It's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's one of my favorite all-time.
No, I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say Dudley Moore's Santa Claus, but there you go.
No, I put Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's a non-Christmas film. That's a Christmas film for me. Mind you can watch it any time of year, but I always watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at Christmas. Always. And
why not?
One I've got to watch. I've got.
He's probably got more right to be there than Die Hard, and that's controversial. But there you are.
Oh yeah. Oh god. So that would be my answer, and yeah.
And Denny.
Oh,
video game and film. Christmas Day.
The films. I was going to say The Last Starfighter, but there's
Christmas
one
Day.
film.
Okay.
Yeah, but there is one film that just pips it, and that would be The Twilight Zone, the movie.
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely. I love watching that. I've watched it numerous times on Christmas Day. That one video game just for Christmas Day, I would go back to the lands of Tyria on Guild Wars 1 and spend the whole day there. It's
which begs the question: have you actually downloaded the new version now? And
no, I've decided my days are done now within 1 and 2, and I'm waiting for number 3 for our new guild. I don't know when that's going to come out. Well, when it comes out, I'm going to see what it's all about. I wanted to go back more to the original Guild Wars 1. I found number 2 to be.
But why haven't you then with Reforged?
Because I've played it, I've done it, and to be honest, I just don't have the time to go back, mate. To be honest, whatever time I've got,
well, it's just about the time, but it's just that Guild Wars 1 is now full of in the servers now with all those people. So I thought you might have done the same.
I mean, I must admit, it's probably one of my favourite games of all time. I've spent so many hours in there, you know. But I'd like to be able to move about like in Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1, because it was static in Guild Wars 1. You couldn't walk and keep walking because you'd have to use your spells while you was. Yeah, that's the only thing in Guild Wars 1. But to me, that's the best MMO I have ever played. I've sunk so many hours into that game, you know, and I could spend all Christmas Day watching that. And
they used to have Winter's Day, didn't they?
Yeah, Winter's Day, you could have more skins and all that. But the thing was, the only downfall of those sort of things, the MMOs, when it comes out, I mean, do you remember the Living World when it first come out? You had 2 weeks to complete it. And it was like, I was stopping up to the early hours of the morning. I had to be at work at 6 o'clock the next day because you couldn't have. Basically, that can make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like you got to do dailies and you feel like you've got to do the dailies, and it become like an addiction, like buying physical media, I suppose. And that's what pulled me away from them. I just stopped. I went cold turkey on them. I just thought,
I must admit, when it came to Christmas Day myself, Denny, I used to look at the clock to find out when the next little Simon Says bloody puzzle thing was just about to come on, so I could get my Santa hat and Santa whatever it was, and candy sticks and all sorts of stuff. Because anybody who's played Guild Wars 1 and in part Guild Wars 2, there were set times that they would do this Grinch thing that basically would come along and say, over people on the left, if I say this, then you jump or whatever it was, and all what. And so many people fell over and collapsed if you didn't do it right. And all that, you had to have a certain amount correct to wrong, and then they'd give you a bloody great load of presents. Still got about 6,000 candy canes or whatever it is on my account. You know what I mean? And I swear, the dinner would just be being served, and it would be 2 o'clock, and 2 o'clock was one of the hour ones because it was like 2 and 4 and 6 and 8 and whatever it was through that day, and I'd be going, "Oh, you'll have to serve mine in a minute. I've got to go and have to got to get the Santa hat or whatever it was." You know, I mean, I was mental on that game. It was a bit ridiculous. So I understand that. And this Last Starfighter, any particular reason Christmas is Last Starfighter, or is it just that's what you're going to be sticking on this Christmas?
It's to be honest, it's just one of those films like we watch at Easter, special occasions, Christmas time. You know, like we was talking about earlier, Warlords of Atlantis, at the Earth's Core.
Yeah.
All these, all these old Sinbad films, all the old sci-fi films, Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, I suppose
I'm the same with Star Trek: The Motion Picture. But but being as you two guys have mentioned, not a Christmas film, as far as I'm concerned, like a Christmas film. The film that I'll probably watch on Christmas Day will be It's a Wonderful Life, I dare say, or it could be Scrooged, or it could be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It usually runs between those three. But I'm a bit like you. Christmas Day is a bank holiday, so it could have easily have been a James Bond film. It could have easily have been a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or whatever it is, right? And I don't find anything wrong with watching those films. It doesn't have to have some fat guy with a beard and a floppy hat going around for it to be acceptable to be on Christmas Day. Do you know what I mean? So, or Elf or something like that. Elf seems to be quite popular these days. So yeah, I'm a bit like you guys. So video game, Guild Wars would have been there. I must admit it's games of the past for me, not games that have come out this year generally. I've played anything from Command and Conquer through the years and Age of Empires. I remember playing that over Christmas one day, and Guild Wars for definite. I remember going back to 1984, getting Ghostbusters, the game, on my Commodore 64 for Christmas and playing that, even though it's not. You look at it now and you go, "What? You played that?" Yeah. Played it for a couple of days. Didn't want to go back to school. I was still playing it. It's just, I think we had more imagination back then. I think that's probably what it is. And you look at it now and you can't look at it really in the same eyes. But all I have to do is load that up and hear the speech that comes out going, "Ghostbusters!" And it just takes me all the way back to 1984 when I first loaded it up. Simple as that, really. So I could even have said Elite. I could have even have said the Commodore 64 version of Elite, and I'd have played it because I tried to find a game that would last me through the Christmas period. Do you see what I mean? I used to tell people, buy me a game for Christmas because I want something that I can put on and it'll last me through to Christmas, because it's the only bloody time I'm going to have time to play anything. Right now, no chance with my mum. I'm constantly looking after things, so I get no chance. But other years, it would have been buy me a game for $2.99 that's got more keys on than there are on my keyboard for me to actually work out how to play the damn thing, and I'll be happy as Larry because I'll be trying to work out how to play it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then I might get addicted to it, and then there you are. But it's like that with me. It's things that take my mind away from what's going on. That's what it used to be. I didn't want to know, what crap is on TV and all of that sort of stuff. Sit in front of my PC or old Commodore 64 or Commodore Amiga and play something, and I was happy as Larry. So we'll move on because I've talked far too much there. Tony's put VHS really was a poor format compared to DVD, and especially Blu-ray 4K. Don't miss it at all. The amount of space they took up was so much greater. I can appreciate it's nice to see the covers if they differ to modern ones. And the only thing I will say about that is, and it's a format that I never had, apparently HD VHS, which was a thing, was better than DVD. There you are. Not quite as good as Blu-ray, apparently, although the speculation over that. there was this YouTube guy that decided to put First Blood Part 1 on through every format that it ever came on, including Super Video CD, SVCD. He put them on, and he actually looked at it with several people, and they commented on what the picture quality was like, and he was quite right. There's a scene where Rambo is going down the hill, and you see the lake, and they were looking at the mountains in the background, and literally on the DVD version, the mist, you could not see the mountains in the background, but when you put the HD VHS on, you could see it. You could see the ripples in the water, which you couldn't see on the DVD version, etc., etc. So maybe it's the transfer, whatever. But HD VHS, who knew, is better than DVD. And they had Laserdisc, and he went through every different format. So there you go. That's as simple as that, really, on that.
But DVD was still more convenient.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, convenient.
For definite. We still have a lot of old VHS tapes stored in the garage in about 14 tubs. Just can't throw them away. I was starting to get rid of some of mine. They were going to someone, and that stopped, unfortunately. Otherwise, most of my stuff did go to landfill. But there is some stuff that I've still got because I went to things like Universal Theme Park, and I did a video of the Star Trek adventure and all of that sort of stuff that I've still got that to this day I need to transfer digitally. Until that point, I've still got a VHS player, and I've still got that tape, and I've still got certain stuff that I've recorded off a TV. Even, because the stuff that was on BBC Two at 6 o'clock on a Friday, like, I don't know, or on Channel 4, like the Prisoner reruns and all of that, I recorded religiously and took the adverts out. I've still got them. It's stupid, really, but there you are. I think we've answered VHS for you two guys, unless you got something to add there.
And I've noticed some people, I don't even remember his channel. He's a games channel more than anything, called Bahhhhh Humbug, and he collects a few for his games room just to put on for. It's just for the artwork. People are using it for artwork now. I mean, really, that's another lost art, because everything's digital nowadays. It's only our physical media with our films that we get to see the lovely artwork, on the packaging, and that some of the VHS were absolutely fantastic.
And I suppose before we chucked them, you could have took all the inlays out and then chucked the boxes and the tapes away.
But we never think of that.
Stick them in a folder, couldn't you? A ring binder.
Yeah. Frame them. Put them on the frame on the wall.
Yeah. So Colin's put, glad I haven't watched Section 31, not seen a single good thing said about it. So he hasn't heard a single good thing about it. Yeah. I must admit, I don't know anybody that's got a good word for it. I have to say, I thought it was atrocious.
Yeah, it was.
I only had it because it was to fill a gap, and it was £2.
It was as bad as Shooty Gatwa's Doctor Who.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like Shooty Gatwa stuff.
Never there you are. I'm sure. Just to let everybody know, there are other doctors that are on the market. So don't just to say that out there. Is that what they usually say? Isn't it? There are other chocolate bars in. There are other supermarkets. There are other doctors that you can actually choose from. Just to let you know. Tony York says, I got rid of all mine. Perhaps would have been nice to have kept a handful for nostalgia. Do you check them for mold, son?
Yeah.
That's not something I've done, Tony. Maybe we should. They are sealed in airtight tubs, but maybe we'll have a look at them. Bloody hell, it's a good job that they don't breathe oxygen then, isn't it? Otherwise the poor sods will be dead. Then we go to Dell has 8 copies of Manimal. No, he doesn't. That's as bad as Jim Jam coming up to me and saying, well, how about buying Up the Elephant Around the Castle? And I turned around and said to him, bugger off, you bastard. I ain't having that piece of shit. In one of our meetups that we had, Denny, if you remember rightly, when we were in HMV. I have not got 8 copies of Manimal, and that thing can do one as fast. In fact, actually, if I had 8 copies, I'd send them to Tony York if I had his address. I was just thinking if they're in plastic containers, they might suffer from condensation. Yeah, depending on heat, cold, all that sort of stuff. You do have to be careful.
Really useful. Now,
you still have to do the same with DVDs and laser discs and stuff, though, don't you, Denny? So
yeah, I'll store all my discs because obviously all these are full. So I'll store them in them really useful boxes, the one that store like the Christmas paper in, and they're absolutely perfect for DVDs, Blu-ray. Stores up to 60, so you can imagine. And I've got 10 boxes of them. So
yeah, but the condensation thing is to do with the heat and cold. So it's as long as you keep them in one particular area. You know, my doubles and everything are in the loft. So yeah, I don't worry about it. All I do, I just put some of that brown paper all round them as I put them in. If you like the damp and all that, it drops in the plastic containers. As long as they're sealed, they should be fine. They should be fine. So they're in a Drago container, are they? I say that because if you've ever seen Drago from Rocky, says if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So if they die, they die, do they?
They'll be, as long as they ain't going to keep putting in, constant changes of each, constantly. If it's like a freezing room and you got your air,
you have to worry though in an attic if you haven't got a heat controlled room up in the attic, then basically it's going to get hot and cold. It basically would naturally happen, won't it?
Well, you got two. You got hot and cold, but like I'm saying now, it's cold in the loft. You're not going to get any heat up there at the moment. Once summer comes,
it's boiling hot in the summer.
Yeah, but it's just one or the other, isn't it, really? It's if constant changes, that's what causes condensation.
Yeah. So Sandra says, I will look when I have time. You do that, Sandra. Keep us informed on whether you've got mold on your VHS. Sai says, Denny, isn't it strange that 12 people are watching the stream during the pluribus question? It's probably gone down now. In fact, yeah, it's got 10 people watching. That doesn't matter about the numbers, though. I'm just having fun, and we're talking about Christmas, to be quite honest, Si. Collins, but has any of you seen The War Between the Land and the Sea yet? Now, the last episode of that is on tomorrow. Have you seen it, Denny? Have you seen it, Ian?
No.
I'm not going to watch it now. Russell T Davies. It's the Sea Devils. It's not Homo Aqua. I am sick of that man. Keep changing the program to a point. It's unrecognised. Now,
although Collins turned around and say homo, that homo thing is actually is the proper pronunciation of that type of creature.
Even the Silurians called them their Sea Devil brothers. So
yeah.
Can we just stop this nonsense now?
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
You're right. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just letting you know that has been said that it's not supposed to be about homo something or other.
The Sea Devils, and that's it.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved them being called the Silurians and the Sea Devils. That's how I've always known them to be. So
I know.
Then again, I'm a classic Doctor Who person. I'm not really,
the best classic Doctor Who.
I'm a classic Doctor Who person as well.
Yeah. I don't look for the Latin word for ice warriors. You know what I mean? I just call them the ice warriors.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's right. Yeah.
To be honest, as far as I'm concerned, it's my own personal opinion. I think he's doing as much damage as he can now.
His comeback has been awful. They said he was saving Doctor Who. He's put the knife in and blooming killed it off. That's what he's done.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Like I said, I don't need the Ice Warriors being called homo popsicleitis or something. What I mean, as you know what I mean. They're the Ice Warriors. You know what I mean? I have to agree with that.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, the Doctor Who died with the classic series. That's as far as I want to go with it. It'll never come back to the way it was, because if the BBC are in charge, whatever they touch now is absolute crap.
Although somebody did come up with an interesting question for Denny. Sorry, for Ian, didn't they, Denny? They turned around and said, will you be talking about the TV film version of when in your reviews of Doctor Who, because it is a hybrid between the new medium and the old classic series.
I will do eventually, yeah.
But if you're just a classic person, then basically,
I've gone back now. It's going to take ages. I'm reviewing William Hartnell at the moment, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, but it was an interesting question because I turned around and said, yeah, but I can understand why he's not, because it is a hybrid between the two. It's not the new era of 2005, and it's not the old era of 1989. You know, it's the middle ground, and it had a little bit of new and a little bit of old in it. So it is a hybrid.
Yeah.
So interesting. Sandra, I'm planning on bringing on the. I'm planning on binging on the Blake 7 Series 2 Blu-ray on Christmas Day. I bought it a week ago, and it sat waiting for the day. Now I've watched the first 2 discs. That's all I can say of it so far, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Of the second series.
What do you think of the new special effects?
I thought they were good. They were better than the first. Than the actual. I thought they were in some ways better than the first series of new special effects, if you see what I mean. I was impressed with them, if you see what I mean. There was a couple of scenes of landing on the planet to pick up Blake, you know, to take him off, that I thought were absolutely marvelous. You know what I mean? I've always been intrigued by the new special effects and all that sort of stuff, because I watched Star Trek when they redid the special effects, and that I was really happy that they only did the external sort of like scenes, and everything was the rest was the same, and they tried to sort of like just make it still look like it was done a little bit back then, but you know, instead of having a blob of light that glowed a little bit, you now saw a ship or something. You know what I mean? It was like, that works for me. And I remember getting very excited when the HD DVD versions of Star Trek came out. Ian will know what I'm talking about because he's got the same box set. It was in a yellow box, and it had a DVD on one side, and it had the HD master on the other side.
That's right.
You had the old cleaned up image of the old one, and you had the new one with the special effects, and you could choose which one you wanted and all of that. And it all comes back to back when Star Trek did that, and now Blake 7 do that, and now Doctor Who do that, you know, where you can choose between the original or the special effects or whatever it is. Marvelous, because you get to choose.
I like that choice, because I do like to see the original sometimes, you know. I don't always want the special effects, but if you got the choice, I think that's good. You know,
I wouldn't like it if they you know, that they did Captain Scarlet and they did all new special effects, and they took away the old one.
Yeah,
I'd go, oh no, give me the old one as a choice, and and then they go and do whatever it is.
I was going to mention that about Captain Scarlet, but it went off my sort of mind. But did you see the imprint have released Captain Scarlet?
Mondo Chelovic.
I saw him. But I thought to myself, it looks beautiful, but it's expensive, and I'm happy with network ones that I've got.
Well, the thing about it is, Jerry Anderson brought out the, you know, you could buy the four Blu-rays with a special book when they were first introduced over in this country, and I thought, Imprint have brought them out now on Blu-ray, and I'm going, they've been out on Blu-ray over in this country.
I mean, it looked nice, but
Kolchak was the most interesting, thing that was there.
But I think they're expensive. I
didn't agree what he said about Department S, because I thought Department S was all right, but I wouldn't have turned around and said, because he said, I'm going to show you in order, and he said Kolchak was first, Department S second, Captain Scarlet third, and I was going, Department S has got a better picture quality than Captain Scarlet. Ooh, I don't know. You know what I mean? But But
I mean,
I would have had Cracker Skull for Department.
I'm waiting for the new Series 3 trailer on from the BBC for the new Blu-rays for Black 7 Series 3. That's what I'm waiting for. Because everybody's still saying, oh, well, they've got to see whether they've sold enough. And I said, for God's sake, seriously, they've spent that long remastering all these. Because, I mean, how long's it been since I kept on going, where's Black 7? Where's Black 7? They've done the lot. They've remastered the lot. They've put all the new special effects in. They've worked out what special features are going on every single box set. And people are still saying, oh, if they sell enough. Rubbish. Absolutely.
We'll have to move on, won't we, a little bit, because otherwise we're not going to get to all the things about Christmas sweets and everything else, really. But I'm in total agreement. I'm in total agreement with you, really, Denny. And like I said, the only reason that I wouldn't have bought those imprint ones is just price. I just can't afford them to be sent from Australia to everywhere. I remember I got Ian and I have talked about this. I bought the Martian Chronicles. It was a lovely set. Don't get me wrong. Cost me about 70 odd pounds. Bloody 3 months or 4 months later, it was released over in this country. All I got was a holographic sort of like lenticular front cover for my troubles. So there you go. You live and learn. But if you've got the money, nothing wrong with it.
No.
Jamie Powell's got good evening, fellas. Hope you identify as fellas. If not, sorry. Hope you have a great stream and Merry Christmas. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? ? LOL, the most boring, never-ending debate. LOL. Yeah. Hey Jamie, it's lovely to see you again. We used to speak on some of the film chat things that are out there. And he's got this interesting character that he used to do. And I'm so glad that your wife is out of her scary situation, and I hope you have a great Christmas, Jamie. Crazy J, isn't it? That's the right.
Yeah, Crazy J.
And is Die Hard a Christmas movie? The debate will go on, but my simple answer is: if there's no Christmas message in it, it's not a Christmas. It's not.
We discussed that before, didn't we? Yeah.
That's what we discussed at the end, and I said just because it's set at Christmas Eve and probably ticks over from 12, past 12 midnight in that film, and therefore it starts snowing at the end. And all of that sort of stuff does not make it a Christmas film.
Well, even Bruce Willis himself said it isn't a Christmas film, but
it's set on Christmas Eve.
It's his opinion, the same as everybody else's, as far as I'm concerned. If you want it to be, it is.
But I've got no problem with other people saying it is a Christmas movie, because I don't. Yeah. It's just, for me, there's no Christmas message in it. There's nothing that makes me feel Christmassy about it. In fact, there's just a Christmas party going on in a big Nakatomi, tower, where people like the big wigs of all of the departments were just getting pissed and having sex in the office room. That's pretty much it. While some robbery is going on. Suppose that goes on at Christmas.
A lot of that goes on. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I missed out. There you are. Error 42. Hello, Error 42. Absolutely wonderful. Tony York, 46. War Between the Land and the Sea sounds promising from reviews I've seen. May get it if it's released on physical. Disney, possibly. They brought the other Doctor Who stuff out. I will say that it's a BBC production, so you've got a bloody good chance. Will I be buying it? I'm not sure myself, to be quite honest. And I bought the other shooty Gatois nonsense to go with my other Doctor Who's. It's got Doctor Who in the title as a sort of banner, I think, hasn't it? That's about it, really. It's not even Doctor Who, other than it's got Unit in it, I think. So might be able to miss that one. I don't know, but I haven't decided. And I know what you two guys are going to say, so I'll go past that one. Hello, Delboy. Nice to see you streaming. Hello. I'm so glad to be streaming as well. Where I can. Colin Jones put Christmas dinner is a lot of work. It bloody well is. No, never a truer word said. Dan just put I love sprouts with a bit of butter on.
Oh,
they're lovely. Also mashed. Oh my God, mashed Brussels.
yeah.
They are so nice mashed. Each to their own. I can't really get my head round mushy peas, let alone mushed Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, sorry, Ian. I've got to like sprouts over the years, but butter. Oh God, no! I can't stand it. I know people have it and all that, but butter. What's it for? What's it about? It's
expensive. More expensive.
No, makes me
Yeah.
heave.
I think some people have said you put garlic or butter, just a knob of it, and it melts or something. But I can't have Brussels sprouts. I'm sorry. Ooh,
No.
I can't eat cabbage though either, or any of that.
Oh, I love cabbage.
No, I don't like. Oh, cabbage. I don't like cabbage. Oh,
no.
Yeah. Boiled cabbage is a nightmare. The smell of boiled cabbage. Oh,
you might as well. I remember the smell on Boxing Day, right? Of my dad cooking hemp on the cooker, right? Because he used to go fishing.
Yeah.
If you've ever boiled hemp, right, which is a seed, it stinks.
Yeah. That's
what I think of cabbage.
Yeah, I do.
Used to stink the bloody kitchen out with hemp. Colin Jones put, Ian, we have sprouts with every roast dinner.
Oh well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy it.
I remember my mum shelling them and then putting a cross on the top, and all of this. When you do a cross like this and then putting them in the water and all that. And I went, yeah, each to their own. I'll have extra carrots, thanks. I mean, I can eat carrots.
Well, Colin obviously likes them, so
yeah. It's each
good luck to him. Good luck to him.
It is a stalwart for Christmas, and it's why it's discussed in the Bahhhh Humbug Extravaganza, isn't it? Why it's there. Tony York's put, I'm with you there, Ian. Sprouts make me feel sickly just talking about
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally.
As long as you're downwind, I don't care, because they bloody make me fart. Yeah, I have sprouts when I fancy sprouts any time of the year. Also, same with mince pies. Well, mince pies I can understand. Then why has that got to be just for Christmas? It's like hot cross buns. Why are they just for Easter and all of that sort of stuff, right? But sprouts, sorry, but I just can't.
Yeah.
I love sprouts on my dinner, but my favorite part is the parsnips. No, can't eat parsnips.
No.
Oh, God,
white phalanx symbols on the plate. No, it's all right. In fact, actually, they look like carrots that have been boiled with all the colour taken out.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
You boiled it. Right. Why have you boiled all the colour out of my carrots, Mum? What's all that about?
I like carrots, but parsnips. Ugh, God.
But anyway. Colin Jones has now said 6 people here. Well, it's down to 8 now. There we go. I must be going slow. Rocket Buddy's put, I'm just a hog, though, apart from nuts, which I'm mildly allergic. I'll stop pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was less fussy, but unfortunately, I was a fussy sod as a kid. It's just gone through to my adulthood, and I'm just too old now to change my ways. But I've had to think differently with some of my recent health issues. So yeah, I will have to think about stuff, Tony's put, love Christmas cake and pudding. Buy these as soon as they appear in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Well, they're every year, and here's another thing about bloody Christmas is you can start buying them in bloody September Christmas stuff. So
you can, or August, I bet some.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make me want to get very Christmassy in September, and you can stick them on the shelf and have them there as long as you bloody well want. I won't be buying it. And then again, I've known people buy their next year's Christmas presents in the January sales in the past. So, that was a thing for
fun in that.
Well, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll go out in the January sales, buy next year's Christmas present, stick it in a cupboard, and then when it comes to November, I'll be wrapping them. What? What's all that about?
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel Christmassy by going out in the Christmas period doing it. I don't think you feel Christmassy in January, but there you are. It's each to their own, isn't it? Size put, I'm with you, Rocket Money.
Yeah.
Sandra's put there usually a fight in this house over all the crispy skin.
Yeah, I love crispy skin. Oh, lovely. Yeah,
the crackling. Yeah,
yeah.
I must admit, the crackling is quite nice. I've got a honey roast. I've got a honey glazed gammon joint.
Oh, that'd be nice.
This year, only a small one because I like having a choice of a bit of the white meat and a bit of gammon and mix, and having it two on the plate. And of course, with the honey, it goes very crispy on the top, and that's nice when that cuts off. And you've got some in the pan, haven't you? So yeah, I must admit I do like a bit of that. Collins put extreme capitalism is evil.
Yeah.
There we are. I think some things that we can possibly agree on. We're living in an extreme capitalist society. I would definitely say that's very, very true. Errors put relatable with the loss of family, but you do also have to try and appreciate what is left. If you do still have some family,
that's so true. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you do have to reflect back on all of this, and sometimes you also have to think, let things go for a day, just enjoy the day.
Yeah.
There's another day where an argument can come along, and a part of that is in my blog, really. By the way, but it's my 200th blog tomorrow, fellas.
Wow, big celebration.
200th blog. Who'd have thought about it? And we're heading that way with Ian's live streams as well. It won't be long before we reach 200. God preserve us. So yeah, I'm totally in agreement with that. New Year is where I reflect back and look forward. Christmas is down weapons, get through it, come out the other side. That's how I look at Christmas, to be quite honest.
Start afresh.
Tony's put best bit of picking turkey is the skin, in my opinion, even though we know it's the unhealthiest part. The difficulty I've got this year, and I'll let you two talk about it, is this year is different to other years. I've always had a cockerel for Christmas. We've never had turkey. We've never had anything other than cockerel. But our local butcher's closed in September after being our butcher for 40 plus years. And his sons didn't want to take over the business. And therefore, the meat that we purchased just happened to be out of supermarkets, and they don't have cockerels. They have crown turkeys and chickens and joints of beef and all that sort of stuff. You ain't going to find a cockerel. Tell you that. All right. So over to you guys. When it comes to chicken, turkey, when it comes to the Christmas dinner, have you had anything weird like cockerels or anything like that? Do you like pigs in blankets? Can you actually even say that now? Can you say pigs in blankets? I have no idea. You can on here, as far as I'm concerned. You can say.
I love pigs in blankets. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's smoky bacon on the outside, gives it more flavour. But I mean, in our house, it really the food part. It's really started Christmas Eve. It's been a tradition in our house for years. It's always fillet of pork, and it's always on crispy cobs with the stuffing and pickles, whatever. It's just a tradition every year. Then the traditional Christmas day with the big turkey. And all the the trimmings and whatever, and then Boxing Day it's always a salad. But I always buy a tin of crab because I love crab, and they've sold out everywhere this year, and I can't get no bloody crab. And as far as I don't know, you're going to talk about the sweets later because that is a bloody rant I'm going to have. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Has any of you guys had your parents or yourself bought an electronic carving knife?
Yeah, in the 70s. In the 70s.
One of them,
like an old edge trimmer.
It never ceases to amaze me every time I watch an Only Fools and Horses Christmas special.
Yeah,
he tries to carve Granddad's turkey, and he says, "One day I'll have to put the plug on this thing." don't have comedy jokes like that these
like
days,
that.
do they? But I must admit that is a 70s, 80s thing, isn't it? Carving knife. And I just wondered if anybody's ever bought somebody something like that at Christmas. Because it's sort of like the blue touch paper and stand back if you do something like that, isn't it? It's like buying a drill for your wife or something.
Well, that's the best one. Trying to cut through the turkey, it goes through the cord and electrocute yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was we had one in the 70s, but I think we used it once and never used it again. You know,
it was probably done by Remington or Rebel or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but Thighs put, is anyone going to a restaurant for Christmas dinner? I know that it's expensive, but there's no leftovers for Boxing Day. And I will say this: Carveries used to be open on Christmas Day. You had to book, and I do know of several people that that were living next door to us that said that year they were going to try it. But I think they only ever tried it once, never did it again the next year. I don't know whether they had a bad experience or what, but I think it's it could be quite a sociable experience, but I do know it's expensive. Yeah, very expensive.
I'll tell you something I've always wanted to do, and we've never ever got round to it. I wanted to have one of those medieval Christmas dinners. Well, probably not on Christmas Day, to be over the festive season. One of the at Warwick Castle, because Warwick Castle used to have those medieval Christmas dinners, and you used to wear the garb as well that they used to wear back then.
They didn't until about 10 years ago, because I went to one.
Oh, did you? I'd love to have gone to one. I've never got the chance.
Yeah, medieval times they used to call them.
Yeah.
And you'd have a big courtyard, and you'd have a banquet. You'd have them all round in a circle, and they would come in and do jousting and all of this sort of stuff. Wenches would pour meat. I don't know whether it was because 10 years ago they just turned around and said, you can't have wenches and stuff anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. Yeah. Or whether it was just too expensive, or whether it was too many accidents. I don't know. But they were a big thing in the States. They didn't do it at Warwick Castle. I did go to one. I really enjoyed myself. I don't know what stopped them. That's all I can say about that.
Did people chuck the bones on the floor? Can you just do that?
They chucked things at the jesters and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. There was drumsticks and all of that sort of stuff and all of that. So yeah. It was quite good. It was like a carvery. Lots of cut meats and all that sort of stuff. I never saw anything where there was a big turkey or big chicken and you know somebody was ripping the leg off and eating it like this, and waving it about like this. It was quite civilized, but I dare say somebody did. I don't know. But there was always the king and the queen at the top watching the event and all of this sort of stuff. I always turned around and said, I bet they'd love that PA system back in the 13th century. Those fuck off speakers up there, look, I bet they'd love them back then. You can't hear a word being shouted across, you didn't have that. So there you are. But anyway, Sandra Klarsman, capitalism has ruined more than Christmas. It's ruined our country. Absolutely. I don't think any of us are going to turn around and say anything different on this. No trains on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, so both days off for me. Yeah, we know that things like that's going on. We know about you, Denny, and that. Are the trams any different?
They run Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. Christmas Day it doesn't run, and then crack early again. Well, I think it's round about 7 o'clock Boxing Day. But it's
7 in the morning. Yeah.
New Year's Eve goes into New Year's Day. It's transporting it.
Yeah. And of course, as Colin's lots of time, you've got to be able to do some of the rail lines and stuff. You've got to have downtime and all of that sort of stuff. You can't go through life just always turn and say, oh, what a bloody stupid time to do it when everybody's trying to get home and all of this sort of stuff. Well, when are they going to do it?
To be honest, repairs have to be done. When repairs have to be done, I mean, You know, I do laugh. I mean, obviously, I've been in transport for quite a few years now, whether it was on the buses or, you know, on the light rail. But things happen when they happen, and they have to be, you know, you always get asked the question, how long's it going to take? And, you know, it's just question. Well, how do I know? I'm not an engineer, you know what I mean? It'll be done when it's done. I mean, it's like, I mean, what I think it was one of my rants last year when we was doing the extravaganza last year, and you're all waiting at the tills. You know it's going to be busy. If you go in the middle of the day shopping, you know it's going to be queues all the way up going into Christmas. And why don't they open some more tills? Why don't they do this? Why don't they? Because they've got a skeleton staff. They will not pay people. We're the chumps, right? We're the chumps and the idiots for going to they'll self-serve. We're doing the job for them. We're doing their job, and we're not getting any pay for it. We go through the till, right? And how many of those that used to put them through the actual tills have lost the jobs through it?
Yeah.
Through our impatience, we've lost people their jobs through in these supermarkets. And I mean, I do it myself. I've gone to self-serves and I'm thinking, well, I'm doing their job for them. Then they've got the cheek to say, do you want a plastic bag for 10 pence with their logo on? To the point I said, I'll have one off you, but it's going to cost you £20. So I'm looking, what do you mean it's going to cost? Because I'm advertising your business and it's going to cost you £20 for me to advertise it. Or else I'm going to put it in this bag here. It's up to you. You know what I mean? I'm not advertising your shop. I'm doing your bloody job for you. What more do you sodding one? And they've caught on with her. And I've caught on with that.
It's nice that we're thinking about people that you know that work in like travel and all of that sort of stuff. You know, we've now covered another little subject, which is Christmas and traveling home and all of that sort of stuff. From my point of view, I just want to wish anybody that's traveling to get home for Christmas, I hope you make it. I hope you get there. It's a special time. I hope you get there. I'm gonna keep going down this because I must admit it's 11:15 and I'm doing not too badly, but I do know that if anybody's got any last minute questions they really want to slip in, try to get them in now so that we can get to them at the end. I think we haven't covered Christmas TV yet. We haven't covered Christmas chocolate yet. There are two things that we do want to bring into the subject. Other than that, I'm going down the list and I'll go as fast as I can. So we moved to Collins, but luckily I'm rest days before both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day 2 this year. That's really good. I'm so glad that you're going to be spending some time with family, Colin. Tony's put, not being political, but I wholeheartedly agree with you there, Sandra. I understand there has to be commerce to make the world go round. But when you have people with personal fortunes, which are more than some small countries are worth, it gets ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, some of this stuff. I mean, the rich and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't think I'd be worried about giving some of that money out to stuff. And I think some of them are leaving the country so that they're going to have to pay taxes and all of this sort of stuff. It's just ridiculous. Collins put, it's getting worse too, Tony. Yes, it definitely is. The wealth balance is literally criminal. So I don't really want to get too political too much because it's not really into Christmas. So I'm just trying to go down these a little bit. I think we've both said our little bits in regards to politics. I don't think Denny will be upset if I move down some of these a bit quicker. I mean, unless you really want to interrupt and say anything here, Denny, I think we...
No, it's all right. Yeah.
You know, Collins put, I don't think it's about the money. It's about power, control, and denying others a decent life. Exactly. Absolutely, Colin, makes you wonder what things will be like in the future. I guess it's best to try, not think about it. Yeah. I do worry for the future. I do as well. Probably more than nuclear bloody bombs going off and stuff. On the subject of ready meals, why do Finders put cheese on their lasagna? To mascarpone. This mascarpone? Is that what they used to use?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
lightening the chat mood, yeah. And I think it's needed as well a little bit. It's nice to talk about something like this, but it's a bar humbug, isn't it? So why not? Love those Heinz sponge puddings in cans. Favorite was chocolate. I think it had chocolate pieces in it too. It did. It had some little chunks in there. It did. My dad loved them. I loved them. My dad would have a whole one, bastard. Sometimes he'd say, "Oh, you come in the kitchen. Do you want a little bit?" And he'd only give me a quarter. Well, what's all that about? No, cut it off. I'll have that, thanks. Dream topping, anyone?
Oh yeah,
Angel Delight, dream topping. My dad used to cook those tin puddings all the time. Tip top, yeah, tip top. Wasn't that cream as well?
Cream, yeah, carnation milk, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yes, loved whipping up
dream topping.
Yeah, and birds.
Angel Delight.
Yeah, Banana Angel's Delight is amazing. Yeah, you used to keep checking the fridge to see if it was ready. Yeah, you did. Dick Van Dyke is now 100 still fit and as sharp as a tack he is, and he was singing Chim Chimney or something on his 100th birthday as a special TV thing that was on.
Brilliant.
Somebody said, I think on the news, I think it was. Tony put, from what I remember, it didn't take too long to be ready to eat. No, it set in other words, it's set quite quick. Used to put them into some little glass sort of like pots and stuff. That was pretty good. He may be 100, but he can't play with Lego anymore. Seems to be a big joke, this Lego thing. Yeah. Steve's going, hi, guys and girls. Hi, Steve. Yeah, wonder where you bloody well were, you bastard. Fucking hate your channel, you little shit. Oh, sorry, I had to do my salute. It's the law. Sorry, it's just one of those things that I have to do. I see the word Steve's Gaming Part 2 and some red mist comes over my eyes. I checked many boxes today and it doesn't show an upper age limit. Steve's Gaming Part 2. Hello. Hey, Steve. I'd forgotten about that on the boxes, because it says 1 to 100 or whatever it says, doesn't it? 3 to 100, I think it says on it. Does anyone still watch the King's speech at 3 p.m. on a Christmas day? That's a funny one. Yes and no. Saw it last year. Oh, no. Saw it the first year that it was his message. And I saw the last Queen's message. I don't know whether I'll see it this year. Any of you guys, you know, it's not about royalist. I think it's sometimes it's like what you've grown up with. My parents might have had it on, and I watched it, went through my childhood, and then it turned into a thing or whatever.
Well, if I say what I want to say, they'll probably put me in jail for hurty words. So I ain't going to.
Yes, okie dokie. So we'll bypass that one. I did laugh when I saw the 6 to 99 age range, but that's definitely not the case anymore. Colin's been not here, Si, so you won't be watching the King's message, Colin. Ghostbusters on the C64 is a chill game with excellent music and speech. Yeah, I mentioned it because that's one that I definitely remember one Christmas getting and going in. It's because I saw Ghostbusters in December or October, November, something like that, and it was just the big game, and I bought that and just remember it. One of those things. Tony's put in a word site. No, that's about the King's message. The Ghostbusters game gets a lot of hate, but I liked it. I did. I loved it. I thought it was great. But to be honest, though, I doubt I'll play any game nor watch any film on Christmas Day. Too much else to do. Yeah, you'd probably be streaming something, you bastard. I get a high score kerfuffle or something. HD VHS is a digital format. Yes, it is. DVHS, it is. Yes. Evening all. Hope you're all okay. From Jambon. Hello, Jambon. I miss Jambon. We went to Pinfest. I haven't spoken or heard too much from him since Pinfest, but we had a great time there. Definitely looking forward to that again next year. Colin Jones got a little meme there, a little emoji. Collins then put the reason at the start they stopped calling them Sea Devils is because they're trying to make peace for once. It's nothing like the way Doctor Who has been. Steve's put, I'm with Denny on Doctor Who. And then Jumpers put, my mum has been loving the Land and the Sea program. Yeah, it's each to their own and everything. You know what I mean? Some people like a lot of stuff. I thought it was going to be a little bit like Torchwood. I've recorded them, but I don't necessarily have to watch them. I've recorded them. I can make my decision up to say, right, I've got all 5. Do I fancy it? Or I can turn around and go, I've recorded them, hit delete, not going to bother. It's as simple as that. That's how I've done it this year. I haven't watched one episode of it yet. I've watched 15 minutes of one, and then I had to go and get my mum to bed so I couldn't watch the rest. To be true about it all. I'd rank The War alongside Torchwood, not the god-awful Miracle Day.
Don't mention that.
Yeah, you don't want to mention that one. Yeah, that's right. Size put 99 guys. I've got an early start.
All right. Bye, Si.
Really nice for you to be here, Si. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I have to say, I'm going as fast as I possibly can. And of course, I've got my blog tomorrow, so I've got a lot of recording to do. Collins put Night Si, Rocky has put second series new FX are definitely a step up with the first series of Blake 7. Very much so. Tony's put Night Si. Good night, Si from Rocket Bunny. He's a nice guy. He is. He deserves all of these nights and so forth. Hopefully, he'll see them all by watching a rerun. You never know. It's gone up to 9 people now, by the way. It was up to 15 at one point, just to let you know. Steve's Game Part 2. Christmas Day, I'll be watching the usual. My Morecambe and Wise and 2 on his DVDs. Mrs. Brown's Boys Can Go Right in Hell.
Spot on. Horrible. Disgusting.
I wonder how many will actually go out in January and buy the Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas Special 2025 and then take them into the charity store to be sold through the middle of next year. It's amazing how many Mrs. Brown's Boys DVDs are floating around in keks and so forth. It's what I have to say about that. It brings naturally in, and thanks very much, Steve's Gaming, about Christmas TV. Now, what have you got to say, Denny? No, Ian first, about Christmas TV this year. Do you even know what's on? Do you care? Are you going to be not watching TV?
I don't really watch live TV much anymore. So, Mrs. Brown's Boys, I don't care. I wish it didn't exist. It exists, but not in my universe. It doesn't exist. I don't know what it is. No, it's just I don't know. This obviously BBC could spend their money better, but they've got some deal. There's something going on. They keep putting it on, but I suppose they'll say, "Oh, it gets reasonable views," but I don't know. I don't know who the hell's watching it. Do you know anybody that actually watches it and says,
"No, I don't."
No, it's rubbish. I'm afraid. Just to put it, I won't go on too long.
I'll rephrase that. I'll rephrase it, Ian. I don't know anybody that actually will admit to watching it.
Yeah. But
because of so many people saying what a bag of shit it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the figures every year of TV at Christmas are going down because figures generally are going down. It's not just at Christmas. People are not watching live TV as much anymore. Even at Christmas time reflects that. So that's what's happening. And why would you want to? Why would you want to watch that? There's millions of other things that you can watch that I can enjoy. And that's what physical media is for.
Talk about your family a little bit here before we move to Denny. In regards to Christmas past, what you watched on TV.
Oh, it was all
2 Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise,
exactly. All and waiting for the blockbuster. Do you remember when you'd have a blockbusting film that we were all waiting for?
Oh yeah,
that was great. And you say the 2 Ronnies are Morecambe and Wise, fantastic. And for me, I've been watching it again. Is Steptoe and Son, the Christmas specials that you'd have at Steptoe and Son.
I remember the bidding wars for Jaws.
Oh yeah.
When that was the big blockbuster film that BBC and ITV were bidding for was Jaws.
Yeah. And Raiders of the Lost Ark and all that sort of stuff. They were good. People loved
E.T. was another big one.
Oh yeah, fantastic. But Christmas TV was something everybody just watched. They sat around and watched it, and even the stuff that wasn't as good, people would probably just sit glued to it and watch it.
It's all called The Midwife now and all that sort of strictly bloody dancing and shit.
It's like I think they are. I don't know if this year, but they may have tried to. I know Mark Gatiss tries to bring back the ghost stories. I don't.
Well, yeah, he did the Amazing Mr. Blunden redo on Sky.
That's about the only thing that's of interest. That would be probably the only thing of real interest.
I'll tell you what, he really did a good job of the Amazing Mr. Blunden.
Did it? All right.
Well, he did a really good job.
Yeah, but you don't get that same feeling anymore. And
no,
what can you say? It's just not there. But we better not go on too long.
Yeah, so I'm not going to. I don't want anybody really to go into the TV license debate, right? I'm just asking you about Christmas Past on TV, Christmas Now TV, all of that sort of stuff. If you haven't got a TV license and all of that, we won't go down that debacle because it's not really about that. So over to you, sort of like Denny. You've even got you showed your magazine that you bought, didn't you?
I mean, I'm looking down this. I mean, I studied it the other day. I remember the time we used to be. Do you remember the time it was like the radio times, the TV times, and you'd circle with what you wanted to see?
Yeah.
I mean, streaming this and Sky have killed the big film off for Christmas Day on terrestrial. That's just what's happened. But, I mean, I'm going to pick some highlight. BBC One, Gladiators Christmas Special, crap. Shaun the Sheep, The Weakest Link Christmas Special. Come Dancing Christmas Special.
Oh, no.
That bloke pisses me
off.
EastEnders, Call the Midwife. Oh my God. Amandaland Christmas Special. I don't even know what that is.
EastEnders.
Amandaland is a follow-up to Motherland.
And Mrs. Brown's Boys. And that
is no, it's not. Oh God.
And that's your lineup on BBC One.
Oh, how lovely.
ITV, all right. Raiders of the Lost Ark for the millionth time.
Yeah.
It'll be all right on the night. Emmerdale, Coronation Street, Bullseye Christmas Special, the 1% Christmas Club Special Edition, Ramesh Rangath Tam, or whatever his name is, or whatever his
dreadful.
Ramadam Ding Dong. Yeah, cool.
Oh no, there is one thing I probably will watch, but it'll be on physical media. It's the Snowman. That's the only.
Yeah,
honestly,
but I'll tell you what, Denny. What pisses me off is that on Channel 4 they're showing from 7 o'clock till 11 o'clock all the animation stuff with Snowman and Snow Dog and all of that sort of stuff. Then they repeat it from 4 o'clock till all the way through to 6 o'clock. The exact same stuff that's actually on between 7 and 10 or whatever it is, and they repeat it the following day. It's on Boxing Day as well in the same bloody two spots. So that means you'll see the Snowman 4 times and the Snow Dog 4 times, and the best animation other than those two animations is The Cat That Came to Dinner, which I saw last year and thought was absolutely brilliant. But the trouble is they showed it only 2 weeks ago, and it's on 4 times over Christmas Day and New Year and Boxing Day.
I reckon Channel 4 are in financial trouble. I don't think they've got enough money. They obviously haven't. If they're putting repeats on, they're just putting repeats on to fill it up.
Four times, Ian. 4 times.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Stupid. The thing is though, Ian, they've got now money because the advertising revenue is going down because they keep putting crap on.
Yeah.
People. BBC 2 is your best bet, but I've got all these on physical media anyway. You've got White Christmas, Keeping Up Appearances, Dad's Army, The Morecambe and Wise Show, which is on twice, Jaws. The Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that them like today, them ought to be put on the daytime at BBC One. All you've got there is Stickman, the Snail and the Whale, Bluey's Christmas Bundle. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, what's happened to Noel's Christmas presents and stuff like that they used to do? It's absolutely.
It's hidden under Deal or No Deal.
Look, he used to do that. He used to go around giving the disadvantaged or somebody,
Oh yeah.
And it used to be a wonderful Christmas show in the morning, that you'd help your presents to.
It was a 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock live broadcast type thing from the hospitals and all of that. Yeah.
There's only the Snowman I'd watch, and I've got that on physical media. And I wish somebody had restored that, to be honest, and put it on. Because there is a Blu-ray, but they've stretched it. I don't. But I love that. I think the Snowman is just fantastic. I watch that every year.
It's very nostalgic. Me and Ian were talking about it, and I said Iron Brew did a commercial in Scotland with the same animation, wasn't it? That was about Santa and delivering his presents or something. But
I love the Santa Claus one with Mel Smith.
Yeah, that's all
the voice. That's really good as well.
But the Snowman and the Snow Dog did nothing for me, if I'm honest.
I didn't like it that much.
But,
I agree.
When you put the Snowman on, you feel like it's a bit of crap. But like I say, every year I always watch those. If I can't watch anything else, I always watch those 2 Twilight Zone episodes: Night of the Meek, the original, and the remake. And I think that those shows are the spirit of Christmas, basically.
I mentioned those in my blog, so
he absolutely nailed those.
I asked you a question.
Ian asked me my favourite Twilight Zone episode.
Well, funny enough, that in a couple of weeks' time, I shall be watching 5 in Search of an Exit. That was the other Christmas episode they done.
Yeah.
That's a good one as well. But obviously, I know what happens at the end of that one. But that's, to me, the telly is completely gone. That's it. Gone.
So Collins said Mrs. Brown Boys, it's supposed to be, has done one thing, just the one, that I found funny. That's nice. That's that famous line that she goes, that's nice. I used to say fuck off, but now I say that's nice. We use the same suite to sit on all year round. No point in getting special suite for Christmas. Tony's put, I got an imprint set cheaper from the US recently, the 39 Steps 1978 version, and the Lady Vanishes Last Hammer film. Only Blu-ray release of that version of 39 Steps available, and never seen Lady. The last, I must admit, the imprint have got some stuff that's over here, because I believe the Carry-Ons and the On the Buses Blu-rays came over here from bought from Amazon at a price that you didn't. If you bought it over there and brought it over here, it would have cost you a fortune. So I was pleased that they were like $49.99 instead of $49.99 plus the 30 quid that they want for posting it to you. Lady Vanishes anyway is the last thing that he was put in there. Mushy Peas only works with faggots and gravy from a seaside cafe. I just don't like mushy peas. I'm sorry. It's like green.
I'm a bit like that. I thought I would do. I like peas, but not mushy.
Anything worse than boiled cabbage is sprouts.
I
used to hate cabbage as a kid, but I like it these days. It's each their, like I said, the greener the better. Although you can have red cabbage, can't you?
I enjoy the cabbage.
I enjoy the raw white cabbage used as salad ingredient. I used to think of cabbage. I used to turn around and think of it and said, it's like lettuce that somebody's steamed. What's the point? Lettuce. I mean, you have that in a sort of like a sandwich or something. Even then, I didn't really go for it too much. Like cress, I thought, why do people have cucumber and cress sandwiches? Like, why do you want wet bloody sandwiches? So I used to think to myself, who wants to boil lettuce? Right? I mean, surely you don't want it. You want it crispy. You don't want it flipping wet, soaking wet, and all the water's coming off of it.
I think cress isn't cress pointless. People just put it on there. It's trying to be decoration. It doesn't taste of anything.
What a load of bollocks all that is all about.
Pointless thing, cresses.
Rocket Bunny said, "Wow, no wonder you old fat."
That's
the best line of the night, I think. Son going out Christmas shopping. Amazon is popular for a reason. Us introverts. Guys, but I guess the cockerel used to be the bugger keeping everybody away.
That's
right. Our meat this year will be turkey, beef, and gammon. I must admit, we've got turkey and gammon. I didn't buy a beef joint. I just didn't have the money, to be quite honest. Otherwise, it would have been a beef joint with the rope around it and everything else. The string and all of that sort of stuff. It would have been that. I'm upset about our electric carving knife. One of the blades has gone missing. That was a wedding present too. I didn't say it was given, wasn't it? As a wedding present, as carving knife. Yeah. Steve's, but we might have to have a damn takeaway on Christmas Day. We still have no power in our kitchen. 3 weeks solid now. I'm effing sick of it. I must admit, I feel for you there. I've been listening to the things that are going on in your life at the moment, Steve, and it concerns me an awful lot. And I just hope that things get better, and that I think they've got to be able to do something or compensate for you or arrange something for you for Christmas Day. You can't live in a room that's got no heat, no food, and all of that sort of stuff. They've got to do something. Everybody deserves a Christmas. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's just my opinion. Yeah, they've been here for 9 weeks now, and it just grinds you down. Did I read that out? These builders need a taste of their own medicine. Yeah. Collins book. Bloody hell, Denny. Even the buses in Cardiff have Christmas and Boxing Days off with early finishes Christmas and New Year's Eve. Yeah, there's no early finish for Christmas Eve for me either. It used to be that you could go home at 12 or 1, but apparently I'll be there till 4 or 5 o'clock but I start work at 7. So
I think, really, Colin, the only good thing out of it, I do 6 till 2 in the week, so I'll still get home still to have a bit of time. But as it is in transport, you either get lucky like you have been this year, or you don't. And this year I haven't, but I am next year, so I've got to look forward to that. So. Yeah,
people who work in hotels live in hotels. They're all got staff that need security as well, that need to walk around these premises and offices and all that sort of stuff. It's amazing, really.
Think about the doctors and nurses,
but they're I don't know whether people are behind the doctors with this striking and all that sort of stuff. We won't go into all of that. At the end of the day, they've got a difficult job over Christmas, and I'll be thinking about them. I will be. I mean, I definitely will be. With us, the few that do work, the 2 days off, basically just stopping the trains, icing up, get triple time. Yeah. That's good. He's going, the Heinz sponge puddings were nice. I love the treacle one the most. Yeah, I wonder if any of the American ones that watch this later on understand what spotted dick actually is. It's not actually anything to do with sex or anything. It actually is a sponge.
Yeah. It's not a venereal disease. No.
I just want to make sure that's bloody clear. All right. Okay. Time check 23:29. Let's see the chat delay. 23:29. It's 23:45. I'm not that far behind, people. Christmas TV is utter shite. Totally agree. Seb's place is in. Hello, Seb. Only just got home, so just tuned in. Hope you guys find time to relax over the festive period. Much love, Seb. That's very nice of you. Start saying nice things about the Commodore 64, you little bastard. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Sorry, I thought that was a monologue in my head. Hope to see you in the new year, Seb. Absolutely wonderful. Colin Jones says, well, TV on the whole is generally shite. Yeah, that's very, very true. Don't have a license, not worth it, in my opinion. Yeah, I totally get that. Try not to bring those sort of things in, because it's just a matter of talking about what Christmas was like in the past. And I love the Morecambe and Wise too, Ronnie's, all of that sort of stuff. I mentioned the stuff I never really got on with, which was Mike Yarwood. Never really found him to be that fantastic. Stanley Baxter.
Yeah,
Didn't really ever get on with him. I've mentioned it a million times, but it's each to their own. You know, some people don't like Paul Daniels at Christmas, you know, back then. So, you know, with Maggie McGee or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Debbie McGee. Awful.
Debbie McGee, there you are.
I never liked him.
All she does now is sell kitchens. So there you are. So she ain't much cop, is she? Right, Colin Jones has put, we used to have 3 to 4 channels. Now we have hundreds and the same ad revenue to split between them all. It's just quickly produced cheap crap, reality shows and other garbage. Yeah, I mean, we all know sort of where it was coming from, and we all saw it from a million miles away. It never stopped us, though, from going, it's going to be bloody awful when it happens, though, isn't it? Really? That's all I look at that as. Confession time, I never watched The Snowman from start to end. There you are. Each to their own. Like I said, I saw it. I fell into the debacle of, did he actually really sing that song, or is the person in the actual cartoon got a different singer and all of that sort of stuff? And the argument between the two boys and all of that sort of stuff. That went on for years. Now they're good friends, apparently, or something. Anyway, I do like Shaun the Sheep, but it's not Christmas material. Well, why not? Why can't it be? I don't eat lamb at Christmas. Anyway, it tastes like plasticine if it's Shaun the Sheep, doesn't it? Right, now, I've seen The Snowman. I have no interest in ever watching it again. It's a one and done for me. Yeah, and I can understand that as well. The amount of times, Ian, that we've discussed on our channel that some people are quite that way. If you've seen a film,
yeah, that's right.
And it's a one and done deal, nothing wrong with that. It
We're
doesn't
all
mean
different.
you like it.
You know,
you enjoyed it for what it was, and you've moved on. That's it.
Yeah, it's nostalgia for me. It'll always be nostalgia.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah.
I still think it's absolutely astounding how that animation was done back in the day.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
It's the undulating ground as they're flying that I go, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I'd never seen camera angles that did that back in the day. Was it 1984, Denny? 83?
No, 1992.
82. There you are, even better. So, you know, I was looking at how the motion worked and the undulating hills, and I just thought, wow. And this is all hand drawn and all of that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like amazing. Some people would just go, animated cartoon. Great.
43 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still find the end so sad. And even though you know what the ending is, it's still
43 years ago. I mean, for goodness sake, I mean that's half of Ian's life, isn't it? Really? I mean, he's 86 now, ain't you, Ian?
Oh, those the old jokes. They still keep coming, don't they? Yeah.
I mean, you remember when you transitioned from radio to TV, didn't you?
Don't say that word transition. You'll get me off on another.
I'm talking about crystal radio as well. I'm not talking about broadcasting radio. It's crystal radio. Not see Brig Santa Short either. No. The Iron Brew Snowman advert is so funny. It's on YouTube. Yes, it is. I have actually watched it this year, and it was Meister that pointed it out to me years back when they said about the Christmas Iron Brew Snowman.
Yeah.
Cress has a mustardy taste. Does it really? Don't like mustard. Probably one of the reasons why I don't eat that. Used to enjoy egg and cress sandwiches. Oh, right. Egg and cress, lovely. Cucumber and cress just doesn't work. No. Catching up. Have a good one. That's 20th Century Gaming. Yeah, I think he was thinking of doing a live stream. I don't know whether he actually did it or not because I don't. Like I said, I've been here, so I don't know whether Says place, Specky rules, not Easterly. And then they should show the Stanley Baxter Christmas box this Christmas. I was never intrigued by that, I have to say.
Same.
Never Stanley Baxter. Sten left us recently, aged 99. Stan, fuck's sake, typing. Cress, cucumber, lettuce, damn rabbit, food, no That's the last comment, but we've gone over TV. We've gone over. We didn't do adverts and we didn't do sweets. Now, all I'm going to say about sweets is I went into the store today just to buy the remainder stuff because I've got to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And tubs of bloody sweets, £4.90 again, with 25 grams less in the tubs again this year. They went down 25 last year and 25 the year before. I just think to myself, you're making the plastic tub thicker.
Yeah.
Right. You're not putting any of the sweets in there. And it's pitifully bad. And nobody is being is finding this funny. Not that they ever did. And you're not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes either. We know what you're doing.
And they're taking the milk out.
I think we can understand a bit about cocoa prices and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but milk and cocoa is essential for chocolate.
Yeah.
Surely. Not whatever they're putting in. And you can't tell the difference, can't you? You know that taste is not what it was. You just know. Cadbury's is not Cadbury's anymore, which is sad. It's
Well, here's a question for you both then. If that was to go back to the original recipe, would you be willing to pay more money for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would as well, to be honest.
Quality.
I think there's two ways. I think there's two ways of looking at that, because there are people that buy a chocolate bar to put in their packed lunch every day, like a toffee crisp or a Mars bar or a Snickers bar or whatever it is, right? If you're asking me, would you be prepared to pay more money for the chocolate? Sometimes it might be, yeah, definitely at Christmas, special occasions, all of that sort of stuff. I'd love to have a 1 kilogram tin of Quality Street or whatever it is and pay that one-off thing and go, there you are, Mum. It's better than that 490 gram piece of shit in plastic tubs. You got a 1 kilogram tin there. Enjoy. And have a ton of stuff in there and have it the proper chocolate, not this crappy shit. Do you know what I mean? That's got less cocoa in it, less milk in it, less sugar in it, and all of that sort of stuff. My mum had a mince pie from Sainsbury's that came in the boxes that they've got stacked in their millions, right? I nearly said all under one roof and then said Toys R Us, but no, that's another advert, right? But they had stacks of them, right? And she said it was like eating cardboard.
Yeah.
Then they went over. Then they got over on the other side where they got the jam donuts that they make every day, and she had those and liked them, right? And I'm going, but you get 4 for £1.50 and 8 for £2, and over the other side you've got them in a box, 6 for £2. Well, you might as well go over and buy those ones that are in the plastic container there. Because you could buy 2 packs of those. And why are they like cardboard? Because they've taken all the sugar and the niceness out of them, haven't you? You took all the nice bloody thing that makes it a mince pie. You know, it's a piece of shit. She said she thought she was eating the packet round the outside of it.
But have you noticed as well, when you bite into one of these mince pies or, I don't know, a raspberry one or whatever they do, it's like a fresh air pie. You've got one small thick,
yeah.
And it's all fresh air between the base and the top.
Yeah, fat chance of having the mince coming out of the outside of it. Right, you put it in the microwave and nothing will come out. It will still be exactly as it went into the microwave in the old days. And if you put it in the microwave, it'd boil over, it'd be split apart, it'd be whatever it is. I doubt there's anything but bloody air in them.
But that is the dialect. It's never going to go back to what it was. I remember the old bars, like they used to have the milk tray bar, and it used to be in one bar, and it used to have all the things you could snap off. All the different.
Nice, yeah.
You remember them? If you look on the internet, bar 6 and all them. They used to have the
bar
lovely,
6,
yeah. They used to have the lovely Christmas selection boxes with all these different ones in, and they've just all vanished over time. I mean. Look at the selection boxes now.
The crap now.
You're going about Toffee Crisp as well. You know, them have been delisted as a chocolate bar because it's not chocolate anymore.
Yeah, I get you.
But I mean, I miss Woolworths and the pick and mix. Sainsbury's have got a pick and mix. It's nothing like pick and mix from Woolworths. It's bloody expensive. All that sort of stuff. So we've covered sweets a little bit now. What was the other thing that I said? Adverts. Right. Yeah. So that pisses me off as well a little bit. The one thing that's sort of like pissed me off about that, Christmas used to be that the denim, Old Spice, all of that sort of stuff at Christmas. Do you know what? I've had to watch stuff with my mum, right, during the afternoon and all of that sort of stuff from 4 o'clock, and it's full of donkey sanctuaries.
Yeah.
Paul Shemaiah has got inclined eyelashes going inwards. Please donate to this. Donkey sanctuaries. Why don't you send £32 so that the homeless can have a Christmas dinner this year? £32. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not £2 anymore, £3 RSPCA, it's 32 quid. All that sort of stuff, and I'm just turning around and going, where's all the bloody Old Spice and Stratos and High Karate adverts and all that? In fact, actually, saying that, at night I've seen nothing but perfume adverts. Saying all that, but I am talking about where's all the toys for the kids, the advertisements for these things. How does the kids know what toys are good or that this year?
I
don't know how the kids. I don't even know how the kids know what a good toy is anymore.
The kids.
I used to know by the advert.
Yeah, do kids buy a lot of toys nowadays? I know this is gonna, but are they all
how do you know
all the time?
How do you know, Ian? How do you know, Ian, that the Cabbage Patch doll is the toy in vogue this year? Unless you saw an advert that told you there was a thing called a Cabbage Patch doll.
But I mean, I know I'm old-fashioned here, but I like to see people playing physical toys. I don't want to see people kids on a screen like this, not talking to anybody, not interacting. Not for me. At a certain age, I understand it, but toys when you're young are so important. So physically developing your imagination. I believe in all that still. I know it's all
living brain, the living brain, the chemistry. Things like the living brain, the chemistry set, all of that sort of thing. Is that
the only trouble is? I always used to find, like the board games and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, me and Del have we game players with computer games.
Yeah, I know. You see, I didn't have them when I was a kid. So.
The thing was, the board games that could become boring very quickly. I mean, I used to like Monopoly and all them, but where a computer game, it was like I think some of you said earlier, Del, the monitor there took you into another world. You just completely switched off from where you was. And is there too much screen time with kids these days yet? I mean, I used to go out. I used to have a bike for Christmas, and we used to go out and we used to play board games. When the computer games come along, though, it was like somebody switched something in me, and I don't know whether you was the same. And it was just that was it. Then I just fell in love with computer gaming, and from that day to this, I mean, it's not so much now, obviously. Because I don't have the time, but I think that's where it changed. I think for a lot of kids.
But what about all those wonderful annuals that you used to get, and now
by Grand
and all that about his diet? I mean, I bet there isn't as many annuals produced now.
Now because physical print is dying.
It's all sad. I think you still could probably get a Beano and Dandy annual. And you might get a couple of other two annuals, but it's not the same. I mean, looking at a screen, but when you're actually physically holding a book, the smell, just going through it, enjoying reading it over and over again. Quite often I'd read them, then read them again.
The question is, though, Ian, would you say that nowadays, because that was the writers we had back then? Don't forget, it's a cross-section of what we got.
Yeah, but I do... I know I sound like an old stick in the mud, and I understand times change, and that's how the world is. That's what kids want. It's just sad that the power of physically touching things is disappearing, and that's why us as physical media collectors, again, have come from that.
I don't think you're a stick. I don't think you're a stick in the mud.
Kids nowadays streaming. It's far easier, and it's same with music. Don't get on to me about music as well, because I love music, but that's been ruined. by streaming.
Yeah.
It's sad, but that's.
I mean, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised that I think Apple are bringing out an abacus watch for you this year.
I don't like maths.
I think they shut the abacus down for you, so
I
it's
said
on your wrist
with an S, not this blooming.
I think it's because of the RAM
business.
shortage that they're bringing it out. To be quite honest, but there you go. There's a little joke for everybody this year. So we better go down the list because it's now gone 12 o'clock. So we're going to wind it all up now. So unless you can think of another subject you want to bring up, so you got
no, we got to get you.
Colin says I'm working Wednesday, but I don't know what yet. Start time range is 9 till 2, but I should find out tomorrow. Snickersdale, it's a damn marathon. Yeah, I know, but of course it's, at the end of the day, it has been called that for years and years and years. I still think of it as a marathon, to be quite honest. But I have to say, Snickers, you never know who in America is watching this. I can't turn around and say marathon, you know what I mean? Anyway, Muttley Snickers, yes, he does. It's called shrinkflation. They're putting less in packets and charging more from Tony York. Tony, you're a misery old bastard. Sorry. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Tony. We're going to have him on next year. Colin Jones, he's worse than us. I saw a YouTube video on shrinkflation recently. Confusion was the channel, I think. Yeah, checked, and yes, 3 weeks ago. Seb's place is still here. He says, never understood why the smaller bars are called fun size. A chucky bar got in one bite. I have to say, damn true. Yeah, fun size bastards. Yeah, thanks, Mum. Yeah, cheers. How scamming consumers become normalized. Yeah. Steve says I loved Bar 6. Yeah. I saw this regularly. Seb, fun size should be massive, not tiny. That's quite true. I loved Curly Whirlies. I always thought that they were good value.
Yeah.
TV adverts seem to be mostly begging and funerals these days. Yeah, very well are. I'm having my funeral done by one cremation. Yeah, thanks. Kids, great. And it's a bloke sitting in a bloody tub saying, yeah, they gave him a great good send off, didn't they? And she's talking through the door saying, yeah, we'll have to have ours done by one cremation next year. Yeah, I'm going to stick the bloody poster in with your bath water and stick you in the cremations. Yeah. Kids see stuff on YouTube, on TV toy adverts are dedicated to kids channels or kids TV slots like Channel 5 have. Yeah, it's just that I don't really. I think that there's still Nickelodeon and all that. I still don't see too many adverts for things like Starbird or Merlin or Simon Says or anything like that. I just don't know what the number one toy is now. They know. I don't think they watch enough of it to know. I bet you any money there's still a Donkey Sanctuary bloody advert on there and all. Don't you just love the jaunty music that they have on funeral ads? Yeah, don't they? Must admit, they do have jaunty music. Steve says, LOL. 20 cents again. My kids are on iPads on Christmas Day night. I have loads of board games. But they are not interested. However, I have a brand new Hero Quest for them to try this year. I tried Hero Quest in VR, I think, a couple of years ago. It was actually quite intriguing. It's nowhere near like the board game, though. I'd still have the board game over the VR. Love and smell of old books. Yeah, well, you know me in comic books. You know what I like. I mean, I've got 1962 comics upstairs. You know what they smell like. Jesus. On the subject of physical media, I'd pre-ordered the Tron trilogy on Blu-ray. Brilliant. Absolutely marvelous. Hope you enjoy that. Like I say, because they've been upscaled, they've done the 4Ks of them, the Blu-rays will be pristine. You don't have to have the 4K. And I can vouch for Tron being absolutely stunning. I'll tell you that now. Says places put. To be fair, my kids buy CDs and vinyl. Good. They like owning it.
Brilliant.
Absolutely marvelous. So glad about that. I bought my 83-year-old dad the Crystal Palace Annual for Christmas this year. They've won 2 cups, so it's a big celebration for them. I know it will cheer him up after such a shocking year with my mum. That's absolutely marvelous.
Yeah,
that's fantastic, to be quite honest. I'm getting a record player for Christmas, vinyl. Here we come. Yeah, marvelous. Curly Whirlies are awesome. I think so. I actually have a new sealed vinyl record to play on Christmas Day. And I remember getting War of the Worlds for Christmas Day. The double album that was bought by my mum's boss. And that was 1978, called Christmas 77 or Christmas 78, one of the two. Don't know. But it must have been the year it came out, because, as I said in a story, it was the guy down the road who worked for a record company that got that 6 months before it came out as a special pre-recorded thing. And I listened to it at his place, and I got it for Christmas. So that's how quickly I got that. And it was a bloody expensive double album back then. The last comment is from 20th Century Gaming that I am calling it quits. I think people who like the smell of old books are the same people with a fetish. I have evidence of this. Pooh, lovely. And with that, I think that's a fantastic line to end on. And I'm going to look and see whether 20th Century Gaming did do a stream tonight and watch that before I go to bed. So I'll read out the last 2 comments. They've just come in. I'm admitting nothing. And Steve said, books smell nice. I used to love the smell of new game manuals, and suddenly they're gone forever. And that is very true. Thanks very much, everybody. It doesn't matter what you're going to say now. I can't say any more. I've had a wonderful time tonight. I've brought back some happy memories. It's brought back some crap that's going on this year. Everything has a nice and nasty. There is people on the naughty and the nice list. I think hopefully we're on the nice list this year, guys. I don't think we've been totally bastards. I mean, totally.
That's your favorite word
this year. And with that, I just want to let Denny sign off and say a few words for Christmas. I'm going to let Ian do the same, and then I will go, and I hope everybody has a great Christmas. So go, Denny.
Yeah, well, it's actually been nice to come back after a year. It doesn't. It seems like forever. Yeah, it's been lovely, mate, being with Del and Ian again. It's been great. So hopefully 2026 will be a lot better, because I've got a new roster, so all being well. And just as I said at the start, just watch each other's backs out there. There is a nasty flu virus going about. Look after your families. If you start to feel ill, plenty of honey and lemon and vitamin D. It does help a lot, trust me. So I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from me.
Thank you very much, Denny. And over to you, Ian. Anything you'd like to say to everybody who's a fan of yours?
Everybody,
by the way, you've got more subscribers to your bloody channel than all of us put together, you bastard. Right, anyway, over to you to say your Christmas message to everybody.
I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank you two for making this such a really enjoyable stream, and everybody that's commented. Anybody that makes a comment is fantastic, and anybody who's just watched in and made you smile. Hopefully we've all made you laugh and enjoy things. It's not been a good year for me, but I'm sure some people have had really good years. And I always say, let's look forward. Things are going to get better. And this coming 2026 is going to be a much better year. I've got to always look positive. And yeah, everybody, I think the thing that has given me and Delboy so much pleasure, every Wednesday we do it. Every week, you can't believe we actually do a stream every week, and we absolutely love it. And we're going to continue that, as long as we will. And anyway, I've been going on, and I'll just say my normal farewell. So, and all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.
I love it when he does that. It's almost like a plan came together. Oh, that's another TV show that I've absolutely destroyed. But I just want to say to everybody, thanks very much for all of your support. I will be putting I'll be putting all the channel links in as I've always done. And unfortunately, the description ported from StreamYard into YouTube, so I haven't actually copied the stuff across. So I'll be doing that as soon as I can after I ended here. But from my point of view, it's been a bloody awful year for me. I thank you for all the love that you've shown to me, and especially to my mum. Thanks for listening in to my blog. I wish I could do more. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more in the new year, but it's your continued support that sort of like, in many ways, has kept me going. Ian's been an absolute wonder of a support for me. Denny has always been there for me and covered my back. It's people like that that has kept me going, and I can mention so many people. Colin Jones, Steve, Mark from 20th Century Gaming, all of them have been big supporters for me, big me up, advertised my channel, all of that sort of stuff. And it's those sort of things that have made me actually leave here and go away and cry. You wouldn't know how many times I've gone into my bathroom and just cried just by myself. But what I'd like everybody to have from this stream is have a great Christmas. Spend time with that person that you need to be with. Think, about the people that are having heartaches and bad times, but they'll still be having those bad times. There's not an awful lot that you can do about that. Don't feel bad about that. Just enjoy yourself. Let's get 2025 out the door, and let's have a proper 2026. I'm hoping that I'm going to be around in the new year. I hope that you continue to watch my good friends here. Please support yourselves. Thanks very much. And I'll end the stream there. Salute to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.